Pagka.
Let's try this again. Welcome to the close. Pretty interesting day. Back to session lows we go. We were dealing with computer stuff. It's fine. Back to session lows we go. Everything back to the downside after a attempt at a bounce, I guess you could say, off of morning support that didn't really hold. It was quite the move back to the upside when it happened, but not much follow through as we head back downside. Here's a look at how things stand at this point. 1.4 for the S&P, the Dow 1.5, NASDAQ leading again, 2% to the downside. Even some of the commodity names, 1.25% in negative territory here for the TSX. Yeah, mixed board otherwise. Bitcoin's positive, but look at Ethereum again, 5% to the downside. Half and half right now. Well, maybe not quite that good, but a little bit of green anyway, still from the consumer discretionary names. Tapestry here, 15%. Under Armour to the upside today. As we said early on this morning, some of the consumer discretionary stocks in the retail space showing some strength. Etsy's up 10% still. Dish is up 11% still. What a move we had in some of the squeeze names this morning. Some of the meme stocks back in action, having a nice day. Back to the upside. Both GM and Ford was just highlighting there. Wells Fargo with a double downgrade on both today. So 5% for GM, 3.7 for Ford. Tesla being dragged along with it, although Tesla holding up a little bit better. Anyways, hope your afternoon is going well. It's been an exciting day. Welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, guys, we do this every day. Come back at 2 o'clock every single afternoon. We'll take you right through to the close. It's been an exciting day so far. So much volatility and so much opportunity that came along with it this morning. Out of nowhere, hey, GME popped up, squeezed. AMC followed suit. All of the meme stocks were rallying. Let's get into a little bit of a review of that and more. Sean's going to lead the way today. Here he comes now.
Here I come. Yeah, unfortunately, today's trade of the day is not going to be AMC nor GME, but it's going to be Apple. But yeah, we were involved in that. Neil had GME, great trades there, and we had AMC as well today. But the key for me today, this is the trade of the day, right? So what we're trying to do is educate, and just try to understand why we're in a trade, why we were looking at it, and what we're looking at now, right? And so look at this. Apple yesterday, right, down 5%, much more than the market. Today, NASDAQ down 1.78%. Apple down more than double that, right? So yeah, we hit it again. We went over to Apple. Every single purple tick on here is a short. But hey, how did we know it was going to be short today? Well, we didn't know for sure, but we did the work and we found some levels. What I'm going to show you right here is yesterday's close. So this was yesterday from basically 2:30 when we started to head down into the close. We had a dollar range on Apple. Could not break it, okay? So we thought maybe that this 146 would have been a bottom for Apple yesterday, could have been a bottom today. However, as you can see, we open up below. So what did we do? This comes out at 8 o'clock, between 8 and 8:30 every single day. It's the sticky note. So we put that out, and what I have written down here are some ideas. Beyond Meat, long at 21. You kidding me? That thing went to 30 bucks. Disney, short at 103. That thing went to 99, something like that. The big one, we didn't get that Ford long at 12. Missed it. You have to go back and look at that right now. But what about this Apple short? Apple short, any pops into 146 and 147. So we already had the idea written down that we wanted to get the short into these levels. The reason why we rate 146, 147 is because it's always not going to be this clean, which I'm going to show you in a second. Sometimes you have to average in. We were lucky enough, and now we'll switch over and start talking about the trade, that it didn't even matter right here. Look how much we love, this is how much we loved the trade. Like these are all averaged ins, even without having any outs. So we were just like, okay, the first take we'll take there is about a 145.50. It didn't even go up. It went down from there, down to 145. We didn't take any out. We're hoping for a flush. Comes back up. All right, we'll reload it again. Then we'll reload it again. Oh, it's above 146. We'll take more. Remember, our out, worst case, was going to be 147. Okay, so even then, I'm not sure we were going to take it out. I wanted to see what was going to happen, maybe a little bit higher. Thankfully, the NASDAQ comes right back in. The first short was early on in the day. We wanted to get short Apple. We took that right there. got out a little bit, was a little nervous on that. These are 143, 143.50 shorts. Look at that out down here, 140.50. So that's already 250 in the money. We took it out. We were out of shares. Watch it go back up. That was in and out there. I'm not sure what that was. I think that was a keystroke. I think we talked about that. Just in and out really quick. I'm not sure. Boom, look at this move all the way to the downside. We took on this trade $6 there on Apple. So in, as it bleeds down, get out at some of these key levels, 145. Remember, if our risk was going to be about $1, then we have to start taking at least $1 on the trade. So there's a couple outs there for 50 cents. There's $1. Remember, we're loaded up here. It went to our level and we just trusted it. Sometimes it works. Back down to the downside. That's a 144.50. So right there, you're looking at $1.50. Then you're looking at $2. Then the crash happens. We just let it fall all the way down. And there, I just hear some claps. We're short again on Apple. Then Apple pops back up. And look, very similar. We make a range here again on Apple. So we hit the short there against the 50 period, 142. We're still short 142 right now on Apple as this is crashing back down, 139.60. Where's the bottom? It already broke the bottom of 140. So look, I'm getting excited. I hear the traders in the background, all because we pegged the level. We had it there on the sticky note, right? Look at the NASDAQ falling apart again. As the NASDAQ falls apart, Apple, no choice. We know everyone wants to sell Apple. So right now you're down in the money another $3 or about $2.50 or so, hopefully $3 soon on this Apple trade. So the trade of the day is Apple. And for me, it was really, really simple. We had the levels. We know Apple is weak. We talked about it on our morning show, why we wanted this short, and it just makes sense to me. Nobody is in there selling Apple except for the big funds, because as the NASDAQ goes down, Apple and Microsoft are 24% of the index. So we knew we wanted Apple short. Once it broke that 150, who knows where the bottom is? I'm thinking we're getting pretty close, maybe around 135 or so for those of you looking to load up on a longer term account. But for day trading, Apple, and it's a big win.
Yeah, big winner, big moves right across the board today, guys. Join us every morning. We discussed Apple and why it was on watch this morning, flirting with that 20%. I mean, it's through it now, but flirting with that 20% mark from all-time highs was on the watch list. That is the link to the watch list. Make sure you grab that every single morning, and then join us at 8:30. We'll get you ready for the open at 9:30 in the first hour of the day. So much to discuss here this afternoon, including what was talked about this morning. I mean, we had Rivian, we had Beyond Meat. We'll get to all of those, including Dutch Bros. People still talking about bros on certain channels during lunchtime. I mean, it's holding higher. Yes, it collapsed in the pre-market, but it's holding higher today. So we'll get to that. Anyways, Rivian says, hey, we're still going to make 25,000 cars. Yay. And then it goes up 18%.
So, by the way, if you heard everyone in the back, 140 broke on Apple. I think you were talking about it there. Like, that's what's driving the market lower here. And we come back in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the lows of the day.
Yeah, buddy.
It's one of those, every single day we have exactly the same discussion. The market looks like it's breaking out. We get to a high, we make a wick top, we come back on at 2 o'clock, and the market is at the low of the day.
Yeah.
And I always have like a single lone long position on. Bit of cheat. I just put this one on maybe like 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago. It's just Microsoft in front of 250.
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing. You're not holding any longs right now. And then to add insult to injury, my worst stock today was Rivian, and it was short. But I mean, that was just part of the squeeze play, and there were a lot of them there. I'm going to be out of this Microsoft in like before we get to like 215. Like it's going to be insane. We're going to be like 2 things in the rundown, and I'm already going to get stopped out on Microsoft long. I don't know why even trying along there. This is Rivian. We were short in the morning off of 21. That worked, and then we shorted off again. Missed one stop all morning long, and that's the one that absolutely crushed me, and that was the 21 stop. And then we ended up getting out at 22.50. Every other stop was kind of like tight stop. And then I never got back into it 26 because there was no significant level. Up 15% on the session. And if you're looking for something that has a chance, I was about to say it has a chance because if you look at this channel at 23.5, it's been holding that as support, but it's about to test this 23.50 as we speak. So if it bounces here, it's got a shot to be one of the strongest names we can see today, holding a level and managing to maybe break a channel to the upside, which is exactly what the market has been unable to do. Once it goes up, it fails to break a second channel to the upside, and then we end up retesting those lows. Rivian has a chance to do that right here if it can hold this 2350 and get back to the high of the day. But wow, I mean, hopefully we've staved off 250 on Microsoft, but the way Apple's going, the way this market's going, UVXY taking 19, it almost feels like it's a matter of time, but the stop is in. So I suppose that one long will be short-lived.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, look, so Rivian was good for us today, not great. Could have been a lot better, obviously. We got taken out the last little bit there at 23. The problem became the averaging in down here early. We took some profits, and then we were like, you know what, let's not mess around with this until it got to these pre-market or yesterday's highs of around $22, $23. And that's what we wrote down on the sticky note. The minute that 23 got broken, we were out of it. So Rivian, for me, not much damage here today, but taking it out, and thank God we did, because there's the move up. I just tweeted it out right now, and I want to welcome, is it Bulls versus Bears or Bears versus Bulls? There it is, Bears versus Bulls. Media there as a moderator. He's back in the building, so thank you for everything and all the help that you're doing with us as well. But I beat up a little bit here on Fisker. I mean, Fisker went up. We had these tops again, so we went short on Fisker here 3 times. Right, we went short 40s, then 45s, then 50s, or whatever. What do I have now? 48s. So we went short into here, into 55 or so. Again, about average in price probably on this move was probably about 45, 46. So we have about a 10-cent hit there if it were to go back up. And as you can see, it's just floated back down. We got one piece out there at 9.05. And then now we'll see if it gets even lower right now. So Fisker, we've really disrespected this stock today, back down to the downside again. Hit that, took some money and quit it. So that was a good trade there on the electric vehicle space. And then, the biggest and the baddest of them all, Sir Tesla, Mr. Elon Musk today. Wow, first of all, I say this every day in the morning, right? And that is that I'm not taking breakouts or breakdowns or anything like that unless unless there's some really key levels from past days or things like that. And that wasn't really the case here for Tesla today. So off the open, you get to 720. Are we going to talk about Tesla soon? No, so we'll do it right now. Up to 720 there, and then back down to 680, right? So right there you have, whatever, 40, 50 bucks worth of a move, and then back up. We talked about it breaking in here was a good trade, but really, I know Neil had a good trade on this one as well. I feel like this, taking out some of these pre-market highs of about 720 there, right into here. We talked about 710 early. First of all, this is a 2-minute chart, but we talked about 710 early, but that 720 break really got it going up to 760, and then you bounced around between 710 and 720 there before heading back up, and now the market is on its lows of the day, and Tesla's still holding. I mean, it's not holding up. We're down 3%, but it's still not near its lows, so that's interesting. A big flush off early, man, down to 680. You were loving life if you got that, because, Neil, it went 80 bucks in the money.
Oh, my goodness. I was going to say, at one point I was thinking 666 was coming in, and then it held 680 on Tesla, and then we broke 720, and I'm like, forget about 750, we're going to 780. Like, I just kept thinking it was going to extend, and now we're right back below where we got the long. So it's like, it's almost depressing. Like, you think there's finally going to be that day, and then it doesn't happen for us, Brendo.
Speaking of things trying to hold, Beyond, not one we thought might, but Beyond a mess, I guess, after that report. Back to the upside, though. We are 1.8% negative. We did go positive briefly, but back down through 25 here, guys, trying to break lower for Beyond Meat off earnings. But I wanted to point out this, because if you go back to a daily chart, you can see there's only been a few days here on a daily chart where volume has been as high as it is today. So meaningful, if nothing more.
Yeah, that was another one. Look, Beyond Meat to me was
it's about to break
really the easiest trade, and I should add more shares on it, but just looking back at this, I think if we ever get an opportunity on another name like this again, we'll do that. And basically what the rhetoric was for me, and again, it's on the sticky note, and it was really, really simple. It was just, Beyond Meat has over 40% short float right now, or short float, right? So that's monstrous, and the shorts won. I mean, if you look at this stock, it's just been getting clobbered to the downside. And then today it came in and we were down like 20-something% down here. So I was like, you know what? If this 40% really is short this name, then they're going to cover because it's gotten killed, right? I mean, look at Beyond Meat over the last little while. Here's the daily chart for it. I mean, when did you put the short on? I mean, all you had to do was put it on a month ago here at $50. You came in this morning and it was down to 20. So I don't know. To me, it was like, okay, the shorts won, they'll probably cover off the open. And what happens is, just the way the market structure is, when you get that kind of cover, then you're going to start, I mean, we don't even really know what. Like, some of these halts, it halted there again at 23, then it halted in here again at 25, then it halted up here at 20. Some of the halts weren't really volatility halts, so it was kind of strange why that wound up happening. But big moves to the upside here. We took the 21. Most of the outs here before 22.50. Then we get the halt right there. It opens back up. We take some out at 24. And then our eventual out, we missed the top, man. I mean, that went to $29. So we could have held it, but we only had a small piece left. We were holding it, hoping for this kind of stuff to happen. Gets out at $26.50 on the way back in. So it's still a $5.50 win. We'll take that. Beyond Meat's one of my top stocks today. You've already seen Apple. We haven't even talked about Facebook yet. That's been a monster for me today. But there it is. Beyond Meat just continues to make some moves. Once all the volume is done, you see all the volume down here. Once all that volume is done, which is about right up here, coinciding with basically the top of the day, we topped it one more time, and then it was just starting to go to the downside there with
what the hell?
Basically no volume. As Neil says, what the hell?
So apparently, and thank you, Brad, because I was watching Microsoft, and he just said there's 150,000, so 50K.
No, it's right there.
No, it's not 50K. That's 130,000 shares on the offer of Microsoft at 51.
Yeah, it's
sorry, 160,000 shares. Yeah, they're chewing away at this on Microsoft, by the way. So look, 250 breaks, I'm gonna be out of the trade regardless. But this is one thing that we've seen that's relatively new to the last maybe week or so, which is just gigantic size sitting right there on the level 2, and it's generally been to the sell side. So people are not afraid to sort of sell at the bottom or whatever price it might be. But yeah, like, it's just been a crazy, crazy run here. Obviously, you just showed Beyond Meat, which could break down, by the way. But there was Bed Bath & Beyond went, AMC went. What else? I'm missing something. Koss even made a move. GameStop made a move. I actually bungled GameStop because I got back into the short off that 100 level and then didn't hold it for 85. But it's starting to roll back over. Like, it comes right back to the breakout price at 85, 86, which I think I was looking at, like, just now. Beyond Meat, if it broke like 25.50, it would be breaking down at VWAP and sort of falling down with the rest of the market. But it was like a cascade effect. You get one squeeze and two squeezes. And then once AMC went, GameStop went, and then it was like, just go back to your meme land. And then one by one, they all started going up. And when they came back down pretty much together. That's a crazy size. They're actually, every time it gets to that size on Microsoft, it just gets hit for another 10,000 shares. You know, it's basically, they're getting the fill. Like,
yeah.
People are putting that size out there because they can actually get these fills. So, like,
yeah, I mean, it might be somebody that's long, like, you know, where you are, 150, something like that, and they're just trying to get it out because they know that destruction is about to happen. So, no, I like Microsoft. I think that 250 is a great level. Obviously, we are short Apple, so, we're hoping the market goes down. We also have $2 in the money, by the way, with AMD as well. So, yeah, lots happening here. Let's go back to the big desk with Brendan.
A couple of things of note, guys. Boeing just popped up on volume to the downside. Day lows for Boeing. Apparently, Kramer said he's going to sell his entire position in Boeing. So heads up. Micron also spiking to the downside here. Just tagged day lows on a volume spike as well. So heads up on MU. Let's go on to Dutch Bros. Not good on the forecast for Bros, but I mean, it was a monster move to the downside in the pre-market. It's kind of grinding back to the upside. I mean, we're making higher lows, I guess, on Bros, guys. I'm trying to be positive here.
I just want to. I mean, you talk about Bros. I haven't traded Bros. I want to talk about Boeing after this.
I want to as well, but I think we'll probably say the same thing, so it's all good. I tried Bros twice, and it should have been. Sorry, 3 times, and it should have been twice because this is the first. We took a hit, and then it made the high at 26. We jumped into the short on the lower consolidation. That worked out. And then this happened. Of course, you know, they hopped onto CNBC, and I was in the position. I ended up just taking the stop out, but it was Josh Brown.
Yep.
Josh Brown was on CNBC, and it spiked up through 25. So the third trade I didn't need to have. I could have definitely taken it out there, but you know, Dutch Brothers pretty strong on. It's down 29%, but sometimes it's not about, and I'll pull up my quote board for you guys. Sometimes it's not about where it is from the day before to get a sense of how it trades. I always put this column up, like it's percent move from the open, so that you can see from the open it's up 8%. That way when I go to my quote board, I'm not deceived by what's happening today. You can see a big, shiny down 29% and think it's a weak stock today. No, Dutch Brothers is actually a strong stock today in its trading, which is what matters for us as day traders. But yeah, the bottom in on Boeing.
Yeah, so look, I just want to, I mean, I'm not, Kramer's a smart dude, made a lot of money off of whatever, hedge fund, stuff like that, working at Goldman and things. But I mean, like I said this earlier this morning when I was talking about, I forget the stock, but there was one, I think it was Bros actually, that I was talking about that that he really liked here. Unfortunately, and we do have new software, but this chart is not loading. Let me go to the daily chart. That also is not loading for Boeing. But what I want to get to, we'll show this in a second. It will load hopefully. What I wanted to get to with Boeing was just like, if you're liquidating your position right now, then I mean, you're basically. Yeah, this sucks, man. This daily chart's not going to load, so I can't even show it to you. Like, what is going on with the charts anyways, by the way?
Oh, you know what? Because I just had it up, so mine will come. So let Sean talk and put it on my screen.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, Boeing is basically back down, and I don't know how far you can load that chart, but Boeing was dead in 2020. There's no doubt about that during the pandemic bottom, right? But look at that level down there. What price is that?
This one's 117. This one's 90.
Right. So you're getting, like, he's been telling people to buy this name basically the whole way. And then all of a sudden, it just gets right down to like a pressure point, and then you sell it. I just wanted to say, he might be right. I mean, this could be going a hell of a lot lower. No doubt about that. But to me, this is not the right time to sell a name that has been getting killed so badly there, that is in a monopolistic situation. And you have to be willing to go through some of the pain. So look, if it goes lower, he's completely right, that's fine. But unless you have a way better idea than this, I really feel like I wouldn't be selling Boeing. It's straight to the downside right now. And I'm going to find out why, this was sold off. But I just think this is sort of the opposite right now of what you want to be doing. Selling a name like this that's down 7% when the market are at these levels that we could bump up from here. So for me, it's a bad call. But again, I don't know all the details. This is just sort of the opposite to me of dollar cost averaging.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just, look, I get it. You've come all the way back. But at the same time, like, it would have made sense to sell it when it broke 185. It would have made sense if you wanted to sell it at like a 160. Maybe even when it broke a 150 level. Like, all those types of things would make sense when major support is broken. But, when it starts getting right back down into the last area of support, usually that's a bit of a tricky one. But it is what it is. That's the interesting thing about it. Like, everyone can always have their own opinion about it. Boeing, for today, clearly the momentum is to that downside. And we are, for the next couple of days, we are coming into this 110, 115, which we should probably take a look at in the event that it finally gets there. Microsoft blew through that size on the offer. I should have scalped it. I looked a gift horse in the mouth of a buck and didn't take the buck because I figured that guy got filled. It would go even higher. That's what happens when you don't take profit on the long in the afternoon.
My chart just crashed again.
It gets away from you again. Oh, yeah, welcome to the party.
Oh, man, what is happening? So anyways, new position alert right now. Yeah. Long, I mean, I know we have this rundown that we're supposed to be doing, but long right now into Facebook because that's why. Oh, see, now my tick's not even showing here. So I am long. Oh, there it is. Maybe it's going to show now. There it is. So we are long now Facebook here, right there into that trade. We're going to give it to the bottom, 186.50. We're still short AMD. That's 210 in the money. We're short Apple, 250 in the money. And we're short Fisker as it approaches 9. But let's just try Facebook to get some relative strength if the market goes back up. I like Facebook. The market's down 2%. Facebook's only down 1%. Out of all the big cap tech names, I feel like Microsoft's doing the best. You could probably find one that's maybe doing better. What is Google doing today? I know we just talked about Microsoft. I know that's
Amazon's a problem.
Doing well. Google down 2.5. Wow, that's pretty shitty too, to the downside. So yeah, I think we're going to be right on this one. Facebook, probably the strongest name right now out of all the big guys. We've been really hammering Facebook the last couple of days. It's my number one stock today. We're long Facebook from the morning, 186. We got out 193 for part of it, but it ripped all the way to 198 right there. So unfortunately, we don't have it on all the way back up, but there it is, 198 as the top there for Facebook. So yeah, that's come in. Now it's gone. We're going to go long one more time down here. Try to respect this bottom, but we don't want to be in this, like I said, we're long, but not for a long time because this market is tipsy-turvy. But there it is, man. We take 25 cents. So we'll ring the register a little bit as the money's coming in on Facebook, but we need a little bit higher here, looking for a 188.
I just punched out flat of Microsoft because the dude was on the offer again for 100,000 at 251. So they took the fill. Price. After they get filled, it goes up and they come right back down.
He reloaded.
And they're reloading at another 100,000 shares. So there's obviously some selling going on. 250 breaks. Maybe we just take the breakdown short on Microsoft. 250 breaks. And speaking of breakdowns, I know we're talking about, we started with bros. Amazon 2000 is approaching. So if we talk about significant levels, last time I checked, 2K fell into that category. So let's not sleep on that because it was just maybe a week ago we were talking about, or a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks, whatever. 2,500 was a monster break. Less than a month ago, we were at 3,000 on Amazon, and the high 38.8. Like that's a stock that will be cut in half potentially in another leg down here if 2,000 goes. So these levels are coming fast and furious at us. You just got to make sure you get alerts out when they come in because you just saw that Apple 140. Like everyone's cheering in the back for a reason. When these get breached, sometimes it's an easy trade.
Unbelievable move on Amazon's chart. Wow. Just looking at Apple as well. We'll get to Apple here. We were talking about it in the pre-market this morning, just in the sense that it had gapped through that 20% mark from all-time high, trading in bear market territory. Remember, guys, Apple was down 5% yesterday. Here we are, 4.6% at day lows today. Not good for the overall market, obviously.
Understatement?
No. But, I mean, Neil just talked about Apple, right? I mean, right now we're long Facebook at 35 cents in the money. Yeah, we can talk about Apple again. I mean, it's a trade of the day. Join us for the trade of the day at the end of the day. But we'll clip that. We'll get that out to you guys. Maybe I'll tweet it again. But we're coming right at 4 o'clock. We'll do it again. But, yeah, we just saw Apple today into 146. We wanted that short. We waited very, very patiently for it. We didn't take it until it came through at 11. We missed it right there. I don't know what we were doing there. That we should have had that right there. That's the same trade, and it fell all the way back down. We noticed it here. Again, we must have been in our Facebook long and just didn't want to take the short. But when it came back out, we shorted it right there. Now we're starting to take off. Let's go Facebook right now. We'll talk about Apple in a minute. Facebook ripping 75 cents in the money. And I just put this on. Like what kind of a thing are we on right now? Facebook right back up to the upside. We're waiting at 90. Maybe we should just take a piece out right now on that name. But there's a nice little move upside.
You know when that happened?
We just put that on. Yeah,
that dude on Microsoft got filled for 178,000.
Yeah.
The second it happened, everything just jumped higher, and UVXY is at the top. Again, so we're at the top end of the range in UVXY, and it's been tightening this range, but every time it gets respected, you are seeing the market bounce when we don't break out. So watch out. This is an inflection point. If you're looking for Apple levels, I mean, on the daily chart, 138 looks like something. We'll see when it gets there. I'm kind of skeptical about that. If it gets any lower than that, you really are talking 120 to 125, which seems crazy, but when you think a level's crazy, you're there next week.
So yeah, exactly. We almost got stopped out there on Apple. We're going to wait for this 140.25 or so. So if we break this level right there on Apple, I mean, Apple's my number one stock. I mean, now Facebook is, as we just took $1 on that move on Facebook and still ripping higher. Facebook's my number one stock all day there. But if we break, we're going to get out of that one right now. That's going to be Apple. And again, Apple just destroyed today. We've only been short. You can see this, what's been going on here in the market. And there it is, man. Wow. Let's go. Like, there's the out right there. 80s for Facebook. Oh, sorry, we didn't take $1. We took 78 cents there. We'll see if it can go back upside right now. And then AMD, I got to do the same kind of work here. Look for some short, look for some outs. There's the AMD short, guys, 86 right there on a VWAP break. We took 40 cents on this move. Now it is in the money, $1.80, and making some new lows right there. We should have respected that right there. 83.85. We should have got out of this trade, but we're still in it right now, looking for some high levels. If I zoom in here on AMD, we do have right about here some of these high ticks, 84.50 basically, and that's 84.50. We can get out of this at 84.50. Let's just let our longs roll in here as we're at the highest spot of ourselves all day right now, guys.
All right, was going to mention, guys, a couple of things. I wanted to talk about the overall market here a little bit in the sense that the excitement and the volume that we saw come back into the market this morning out of the gate on the upside felt like a bounce. It really legitimately felt like a bounce. You can go back and look at a volume chart or volume indicator on any chart, and you'll see what I mean. We also saw a whole bunch of stocks come back to life out of nowhere, including the meme stocks that we hadn't seen moving around for weeks and weeks, in some case even months. I mean, obviously, I put on the board there, was that a bounce? Clearly the answer, no, because we're right back to day lows, but it was an attempt at least.
Yeah, it was an attempt, but it's like you said, the strength was in stock squeezing. And we basically just had a repeat of what we've been seeing over and over and over again on the NASDAQ here. You know, we tried to make a move. I'll put up, this is a 60-minute chart, guys, just so you can see. You know, but we tried to make a break of the recent high. You put a wick top in and you failed. That's what happened at 1250. It's what happened at 13,000. And every time we step down and you think we're about to break out of the channel, we just absolutely fail. And the same thing happened on the ES, right? Like we couldn't break through the last couple of days through 40.60. We tick down, then you're 100 points lower. It tries to break out the top, and it looks super strong when it's doing it. It's like we rally, we roll over to the downside, we make a nice little bid, we try to take out the top, and we get reversed. The only things that went through the top were small caps and high short float, those types of beat up names. That's what went through the top. All the quality just absolutely and abjectly struggled. And to that point, probably the complete irony of it is at the open, probably the lightest position I had on was the one that I said the most simplistic short that you could have on today. I'm not saying it would ever have been the biggest short, but the most simplistic short I think you could have had on today was Intel, because it broke quite possibly one of the most significant support levels in the daily at $43. And then all it did is all day long fail at the high of the day. It broke one time, got to 43.07, and this sort of summarizes what the market has felt like. It just keeps on trying to go. It looks pretty strong, flush to the low. Keeps on trying to go, flush to the low. It tried again right at about 1 o'clock and then flushed again to the low of the day. And here we are, 42 the low on Intel. It's the same story for the overall market. We have not broken out until I see UVXY under 17, under 17, maybe even under 16. And we get to the top end of the channel and close above it on the NASDAQ or the ES. We got to close above it. We can't just get there and pull back every single day. You've got to break out, and you've got to close above one of these resistance levels on the weekly, and then we can start to think about a bottom being made. And, you know, maybe you don't go all in until you see something like that, but it is what it is. Like, here we are at the low of the day, and I feel like I'm repeating myself because I probably said exactly the same thing yesterday.
I don't know. I mean, the question was that a bounce? No. I mean, there's no bounce coming. It's not coming this month. It's probably not even coming next month. And I said when I would start, this was back obviously in the morning show when we did a similar review. I'm not doing anything really until, I mean, we can call up the cues here, you know, until we get a bigger message from the Fed. I mean, right now they're just sort of like rolling out. Some people, Meister was the other day, and there's been, I mean, they're all coming through saying various things there. Meister there came out, and you know what? Like, here's the NASDAQ. So when you're talking about, the cues, this chart's not going to, there it is, going to load up. You know, there's been a lot of damage here in the last little while. Obviously, 370 down here to 285, pretty much in a straight line. You get a couple relief days right there, but look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 days in a row, downside for the NASDAQ, all very big percentages there. So it's, you know, I need to wait because I was buying dips in here. Like, I thought right into here, right? 320 or so might have been a good level for the Qs, right into there. But that broke, and then now you go lower. So if you start looking and saying, hey, maybe down here 260, 270, I think that's where we'll start, you know, buying up a little bit more. Apple's getting near that 135 that I like. So that's a possibility. Microsoft's already pretty low. I'm looking at like 230, 220 for that. Google somewhere near 2,000. Which would be 10% lower than here. And I called the ES at 37.50. So for me, the point about it is that I wanted to wait until the Fed came out and really, and I don't know when this is going to happen. I'm thinking, I mean, we're getting close to the second half of the year right now. But you know, maybe like August, September, once we've gone through, because they've already sort of telegraphed the next couple rate hikes are going to be half points. I'm going to assume that's what they're going to go with, especially when the market's doing this, although inflation still ticked higher. So I'm a little worried about all these things. I just want the Fed to change course a little bit. I want them to start to talk about, data points that they're looking for. What number on the inflation, on the CPI read is good enough for them to tell us that maybe they can stop raising. Maybe they'll start to once again, add to their balance sheet instead of trimming from it. Like where is there going to be a change in policy? And I said it earlier, I have no problem. I mean, I'm already invested. I'm talking about long-term portfolios. I'm already invested heavily in tech. And we've missed getting out. We've got out of a little bit, but nowhere near what we should have, or what all of us should have at some point. So we're holding the bags right now. I need to hear a change in tune. And if I miss the first 4, 5, 10% up, that's fine. There's a lot more coming to the upside if we're right. So be patient. I'm not putting more cash to work until probably summertime, end of summer, or when we hear finally something. And as long as you're watching tradertv.live, I'll be here. If something comes across, I'm like, that's what we're looking for, then we can go. But Biden's come on the last couple of days, tried to save the market, and we've seen what's happened there. It's been a disaster. I mean, I don't know if he's tried to save the market or not.
Ain't nothing he can do.
Yeah, he's talking a little bit about inflation. Look, gas prices, right? I mean, it's $2 a liter right now here. So a simple tank of gas, you're at 60 liters, most tanks. So you're at like $120. Like, it's ridiculous. People need to put gas in their cars to get to work. And that's just a big struggle, man. So I feel bad. The middle class is getting absolutely wrecked. And that sucks. That's never a good sign for the stock market.
Let's talk technicals, and specifically a very common, very repeatable pattern that you in fact can find on a very, very rapid basis, guys, on a daily basis. We're talking double tops and we're talking double bottoms today. In a market where volatility is through the roof, we have to understand what are meaningful patterns on the chart in front of you. Let's talk about double tops and double bottoms.
Yeah, and look, the thing about a double top or a double bottom, it doesn't really matter. They're basically the same concept, is that you can find something like this on any time frame you want. Now, maybe the most popular for a lot of people, whether you're swinging or maybe just looking at zooming out, you'll look on a daily chart and sort of find them out here. And okay, well, this would be an idea of a double top on GameStop at 250. That's not the one I want to talk about here. What I want to talk about is what I think is a little bit more significant of one that just happened on GameStop. And that's when you've already run away, made a gigantic range, 250 down to 80. You had multi-day consolidation off of this bottom and then ran like a banshee to 200. It didn't bounce 5% or 10% off this level. This bounced a significant amount off of this level. And now you're in the midst of attempting to make a double bottom. Now, you could argue that, okay, you already made the double bottom here today, and I'll show you on the lower time frame why that can be true, but you could also have a consolidation bottom like this one and look for a retracement maybe back to the second level, and that would be about $30 to $40. But when you're looking at something on that higher time frame and then looking to try to make the execution on the actual day, well, what happens at that 80 low? And what you get here is you get a false breakdown through that resistance that doesn't hold through, and it does so on volume. So the volume at the open, taking it through that level, was bigger than anything you saw in the last 3 days as it's attempting to break that double bottom. You then come back to the upside on volume and break back out. Now, a simple trade that I think you could easily put on, I mean, I didn't go long, I shorted the top, but you could easily just have like an 83 or 84 break, your stop goes into that bottom on the daily, and then you're taking a breakout. Now, obviously, it has a chance to now consolidate for a couple of days like it did last time, but the significance isn't just that it made this double bottom, it's the manner in which it ran away from it last time. Like, it didn't just make a minor bounce, and that's what you want to be looking for, a significant level. And a significant level has a lot of volume. When it breaks away from it, that's the biggest volume spike was on that bottom the first time, and then it also has a big move off of that double bottom.
All right, Yeah, good one. I'm going to do double top, and I'm going to do a little bit of a lesser time frame. We're going to talk about maybe more just for scalping and for day trading, as that's pretty much what I do here. I like to use those tops as well, investing, swinging, things like that. Some of those daily charts, bottoms and tops are absolutely fantastic. But right here, Starbucks, and I'm going to give this as an example here because it's absolutely perfect for numerous reasons. So maybe I can zoom this in just a little bit better here. So here it is right here. We're talking about a double top. Well, I mean, here we go. Starbucks yesterday, bottom 70, right? Not only was the bottom 70, but we topped 70 there, and then we topped 70 right there again. So this is what you call a double top. So the market opens up, and again, I like to play, if you're gonna scalp, and we're gonna talk about a 3-minute chart, 1-minute chart, whatever you want. If you're gonna play tops and bottoms and you're day trading, don't really look at the pre-market is my suggestion. I would wait until the market opens up, because if you're playing tops and bottoms in the pre-market, you're not playing with real volume. There's so many different opportunities that can exist in the pre-market. Wait for the market to open so that you know you're right. Both times here, and I think you guys can see this. Maybe I can zoom in just a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably good right there. See these? These are wick tops. Now they happen everywhere, but like that's just another sign for me that these are tops where it gets exhausted. The only problem is the volume's not here on it, so it's not like an absolutely fantastic example for the wick top. But if you're looking at at the double top example that we're giving you, you run into 70, which was the bottom yesterday. Then it ticks 7. Close enough. 69.90 there, then drops. 69.90 there, then drops. So that's your double top. So you're trying to play off there. If it comes up, and again, you don't know it's a double top until it actually makes a top. So if you're going to trade this, then what you would do is you see the top here running into that level. Then you can just short it again off of that top, and if we break, especially when it's at a key dollar value like that 70, nothing wrong. You're not going to get it right, whether or not you short right here, 69.75, or you wait for the ultimate top of 69.90. Either way, your out is clearly defined at 70, and remember, we're talking about intraday day trading now. So we're not like holding a dollar against us or anything significant. We're finding tops, we're matching them with intraday highs as well. So there's one top, there's two tops, and that's it, right? So you get the one top, the second top, and then there's the move back down. So you take the risk here, shorting it against 70 and against that top, hoping that you're the one involved in a double top. There's the screen back down in. Almost triple top there, but we'll respect that. The double top on Starbucks today.
With any technical pattern, make sure you do your homework. Back test, guys. If anything, it's a great way to confirm maybe a prior idea or prior catalyst directional move that you had in a financial instrument that you are looking at. Double tops and double bottoms for you today. Quickly, Canoe, I wanted to mention Go EV. I think it's actually Canadian based, if I'm not wrong. Just popping up here on this note. Yeah, they've substantial doubt about going concerns. Basically, they're going to maybe zero, but up 3.5% today. So a heads up on that again. Go EV, probably no longer.
Hold on a second. You said substantial concern of being a going concern, and it's up on the day.
It's the market.
That tells you all you need to know about today. But speaking of things that, look, I'm in a couple of positions. Carvana, we talked about the squeeze plays. Carvana was a squeeze play as well. However, there was this piece of nonsense, Tenon, which it halted down like about a dozen times today. And I mean, I guess it was, I'll go to the daily chart because it probably tells you the story. Daily chart doesn't want to load. Okay, the 15-minute chart's not bad. This was at like 50, 60 bucks. It rolled over, absolutely died. This morning it halted down several times, and then it started to actually get constructive after it halted up a couple of times. It held, waited until it was able to hold open without any halts, and shorted it in front of 14, and essentially have just been holding it ever since. Every time it goes down 10%, I just move the trailing stop on it because Prad said it's going to 5, so I'll just listen to Prad, and I keep moving my trail. I got to move my trail one more time because it just broke $8, so now suddenly I'll move the trail a little bit tighter, because you don't want it to halt up on you, which means like 10% at a time. But this Microsoft 250, it's coming fast and it's coming furious here. We've now been barcoding off here. 02s is now the low. It was just 03, now it's 02. So yeah, Microsoft, it's right there.
Is there size that are on the bid? There must be, or no?
So when it got there,
Okay.
I missed it because I was looking at
But
something
it's there
else.
now.
but-
We can have a quick look.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so just quickly here, but what I'm doing, I'm logged in. I'm logged in trading. So hey, what's up? But no, I'm long in Facebook right now. So I was waiting for that average in. We got it down there at 50. It ripped up to 75. So now we're back in the money on this name one more time on Facebook. I'm playing the strongest big cap tech name I could find right now in Facebook. So that's what I'm playing. We're playing it long. We absolutely destroyed this exact same play off of 185. However, this time I'm only giving it to 186, man. If this comes crashing back in here, we want to get out and then I will reassess because, you know, I'm trying to trade it with more shares. So I'm not taking it too. There we go. Did we just get some out? Ooh, I was waiting at, oh my God, you know what the price I just put in there? $1,876 to get out right there. So let's take another piece out here at 90, as we meant to there on Facebook. And there it is. Yes, sir. A nice little reload there on Facebook. We just reloaded and took 50 more cents. And now you're going, let's get, wow, a nice little move up. We just put this trade on Facebook, man. Like, wow. You know what I got to do? I got to get Baxter to just like make a program that I don't even have to worry about. Just takes these positions, adds a few zeros on these, and I don't even manage them. There it is, a nice little move to the upside. We just put it on, man. There's that. Like, look at that trade. Let's go. Let's floss it off right there for Facebook. We just went long 186.50 right there. Like, is it any easier than that? I don't know. Right back to the 50 period, right there, 80 cents. Right, easy. All right, so we're gonna wait for that. But I do want to bring up the attention to everybody. So Neil, we are at, remember we got this for 100,000.
That was a while ago.
Okay, we're now at, thank you to Liz for this, 297,658 as of about 20 or 30 minutes ago, actually before 2 p.m. So guys, hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can get to 3,000 right now. 300,000 right now.
300,000.
Let's see if we can get to that, man. And if we can do that on the show, we'll have a huge celebration and we'll pop some champagne that we don't have. That should be absolutely amazing. If we could do that today, that would be incredible. So thank you so much again for everybody's support. We don't show this enough on the show, but we are super proud of this. It's our plaque from YouTube. Apparently we get another one out of Millie.
At Millie, you get something.
We got a little work to do on that one.
To do.
But 300,000, man, if we keep trading like this, shouldn't be too hard. Thank you for all the love and the support, guys.
And of course, usually we do like champagne. I feel like we should do something a little bit more fun if we get to 300,000. Like, we can mix it up a little bit, but you guys get your suggestions out there.
Well, we're going to get to it today or tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's Friday tomorrow.
We just got to think of something. That's
it's
right.
the
We got
end
to
of the
think
week.
ASAP.
Have a little bit of fun with it. I know people are throwing some names out there to watch. I mean, Disney, I don't see anything really going on Disney, but I understand. I get it. Like, you know, the report, not the best in the world. It wasn't all bad with them. Like, their subscription numbers weren't that bad. Someone in the chat was talking about this Disney.
Oh, okay.
But it's above $100, which I think is at least the best thing you can say, because this was a failed break at 100 on Disney, and you're at least managing to hold. So it's got a level of support for it that if the market tries to make a turn, you've at least got a potential at a lower high that you're breaking out from. So, you know, I got my channel that I'll be watching here, and it's 105 into this 102, and then with a $100 support level. And when you can break out and hold a bit above 105, it's probably time to take a shot. Go strong, go long, go strong, whatever you want to do with it. But until that happens, we're still playing the game of this market is weak. VIX just broke 19 and went to the next level up, 1950. It got to 1950 or like 1940 something, and then started turning around again. And then you got Microsoft, you got Facebook off of the bottom. Microsoft then went off that 250 level, only about $1 or so, right? But then these are the little bounces that you're seeing here. That went off that 250 level. I saw some size on 250 at Microsoft, so I'll go ahead and go long in front of it. I didn't see how much was on the bid exactly, but I mean, it was a large enough number, which I suspect. I mean, Microsoft 250 is not going to have nothing on it, obviously.
Yeah, no, I want to have a look when it gets down there. Like I said, I'm already, like, we're short Fisker, we're short AMD, $3. I mean, we're $3 in the money on this Apple trade. And just to give an update on some levels, if AMD breaks this 50 level, we're gone. That's 84.50, so it's pretty close. We'll put in our pocket that $1.50 if it breaks, and then that'll be the end of that one. If Apple takes 140 again, then we're out of that, maybe a little higher, but I just like the even 140 level. If Apple takes that down, we're out. We could get out at a break here of the 50 period, so I was debating that. But if the market crashes into the close, then am I really wanting to take Apple out at the 50 period? Nah, let's give it a little more room. Hey, look, I mean, Apple could take 140, then crash again, and I'll hopefully be here ready to do that. But we don't want to take the risk that potentially the market's in a little rally mode here into the end of the day. You know, that's why we're only going. I mean, Fisker's collapsing right now. I mean, we had that Fisker trade on board now. There it is right there. Fisker short 50s all the way to the downside. Wow, it actually cracked 90s there or went down to 90s. Okay, so that's hitting it to the downside. So that's my Apple, that's my AMD. Fisker, I have no outs because they would be all the way up here. I'm almost out of this whole trade when we came down to there. And especially, most of our trade on Fisker was out, 25s, 20s, and then right here at this bottom for 15. So we're really happy with the trading today. We have losing name on today. We actually wound up losing on Rivian. We talked about that one. And then the worst part about it is we lost on Palantir. But I don't know what I was thinking with this Palantir trade, to be completely honest with you. We first went long here, 7, and we got some out at 7 for some reason, and then some out again here at 94, and then ripped it all the way up and got actually the high of the day. Then when it came back in here, there must have been, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why I wouldn't put the out at $7 there. Like, this doesn't make any sense why I'm getting out at 703. So I'm wondering if there was a tick or something that got me out there. It doesn't matter. We got out. We were able to hold a little bit of it and got it back out. But Palantir right now looking for possible reload down here near $7. And then we're going to throw to Brennan in 1 sec, Fahad. But right there, there's the log. We just reloaded it back into Facebook. And again, 186 drops and we're out of Facebook. But once again, there's the reload back downside there at 25. So a nice little move back up now for Facebook. Let's see if we can get it back up to 187, Brendo.
I'll let you guys show that. Tony's the best. Anyways, I wanted to mention even these no-name banks moving around today. There was NU up 7.5%. This one as well. Remember Dave? Dave just making a day high through 250 there.
Oh my goodness, even Dave is strong today. So I just got long in front of 250 again on Microsoft. We'll see what happens there. But I'm going to confirm it because I think it was Glenn saying 300K gets Tony out the basement. I promise you this much. Tony will be back here. We get to that 300,000 to celebrate with us.
And you guys want Tony again?
And he made the craziest call yesterday. And he was joking when he said this. I understand he wasn't that serious. But he said, do not buy bio. That's the one. Don't touch it.
Yes.
And then he just sent this screen cap, which shows you all of the ETFs, all the ones that matter. Almost. And look what's green today. Go figure. So Tony, the man, the myth, the legend, he was right once again. All you had to do was go long XBI, and you couldn't lose. Also, I will say this. I didn't make money on the 30 long Unity this morning, but if you took it after the open, if you went 30 long on Unity after the open, it was like I was in it pre-market and got stopped out probably before we even came on air. I think I was stopped out, but that 30 ended up going 10% off the open. So not bad at all, Tony. We'll ring the register for Microsoft because 250 is a thing until it's not, and it's still a thing, which means, we're also going to miss me.
I don't know. Are we?
Dustin, thank you for your super chat. And Dustin says, thoughts on Affirm strength today with earnings after market. Guys, Affirm is strong indeed today, up more than 17%. What are your thoughts on that name?
It's one of the squeeze names, Affirm, right? Like that's like you gotta like basically everything that was beaten up, like 80% down or heavy short float, got caught in that move. And at least when it broke this 16, like when it got past this channel, you just had to say it's now part of the squeeze. It did get up here. Of course, this is when there were a lot of things making tops, Carvana, blah, blah, whatever it might have been. You had to pick your spots.
I like that, blah, blah.
But it's true. Like it's GameStop, AMC, Carvana, Bed Bath & Beyond. There were so many of them. And it so happened that Affirm also managed to make its top here at 19. Trades. Yeah, every stock Tony does trade those stocks. He loves them. But yeah, when it got to this 19, it turned around. Do I think the earnings are going to be great? I don't think that's what this story is about today. Because ultimately, no, they're not. Affirm's not suddenly making money tonight. Like that's not why it's up 18%. I think we can kind of all understand that. However, maybe they show enough of something that some buyers will step in. Or more importantly, for stocks that get down here, some of the shorts are like, okay, it's time to ease off. That's what already happened this morning. You could always see a little bit more of that. Obviously, you can see this $19 level will have a ton of significance to it. If it gets above that price, 25, I suppose. But it was more about the general market squeeze up in the most depressed names. there were a lot of shorts that had been leaning on these stocks for a long time that eventually had to give them up or take some off. And that started this morning. Certainly, that's what happens when the market comes down this far. Like anyone shorting this thing doesn't actually make any money till they cover, right? Like that's kind of generally how it works. And sometimes you get those events at a bottom like this. Looks like they took them off.
All right, quick look. Look, the same thing could happen in a firm that happened in Beyond Meat, and I'll be here hopefully to go long tomorrow if a firm is down and gets killed like 30%, and then we'll find out the short. Yeah, it's not 40%.
It's not 40%.
But, probably 25 or so.
It's only 11%.
Okay, yeah. So I think that's still enough, but yeah, that's not going to get me the Beyond Meat treatment for that. Okay, so unfortunately, in that market rip there, we didn't get out of our Apple because that's still pretty weak, but we did get out of our AMD, so we will finally flush that stock down the toilet and absolutely destroyed that from 86 there to 88. 84.60. It does go as low as 83.80. So we gave up 80 cents of a hold there, but that's going to happen at all times. The good point about it was that as that was happening, we were able to take multiple outs here at 187 off this 186 long. So Facebook paid off. AMD did not. But quickly here before I don't know if I didn't hear a throw there, but maybe there was one. I'm looking to go long 85 now on AMD. If AMD can take down this 85, then I think that's going to be a good trade to go long. So that's going to be my next one. I am nervous about going long in this market. Maybe 85 should be a short, probably should be, to be honest with you there. Maybe we'll go short into 85, but then if 85 breaks, then we definitely want to get out. So I think that's going to be the strategy here. So let's go short. If we can get anything like around 84.80, something like that, I want to go long, but like now I'm just trying to think a little smarter here, and maybe the long's not right today at all again. So let's slow down a little bit. We're already long Facebook, and let's see if the long will work here on AMD. But first, let's just make sure it breaks. So let's go short here. Again, 84.70, 84.80, something like that. And if it does indeed break 85, we can hit the long at that point. So let's take the short until we're wrong on some of these names. But yeah, Facebook, we could be wrong very soon. I'm glad we took that profit out. It's my #1 stock today. But if we break through 86, guys, we're out of this one. So maybe a reload spot right now for Facebook. Why not? But it is a break of 186, and we're out of this name for FB.
Yeah, and speaking of these longs, I'll reload Microsoft simply because it's 250. Like that's the only reason. But I am taking more Intel out because it's actually having trouble getting through 42. So you've got it's another stock which is at an inflection point and a support level after breaking 43. It's just right at this 42. It just bounced off at once and then recovered. I saw UVXY pull back a little bit. And, you want to hold on to your shorts if you got them in the money. We do have that poll that is up. What do we expect from Power Hour? And I don't know if you can still not vote on these for some reason,
I just closed them.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. But right now, rally is at 37% and continue to sell off at 63%. I got to be honest with you. Given the week that we've had, I'm actually surprised that there's that many people that say the rally because if you felt that way, it's been a really tough go the last little bit. It's just every single day we keep breaking lower no matter what it looked like in the morning. So, I hope it does happen to a certain degree. But it doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. Now, obviously, we're in the Microsoft. I'm not in Tesla right now, but Tesla's getting eerily close to that 700 level. It's holding a higher low. And if you didn't watch the morning show, it might be difficult to appreciate just how strong Tesla was this morning. Like, it was really going, man. It made that wick bottom, it put in the higher low, it reclaimed 700, and then it was just gonzo. Like, I actually had a break order to take this breakout at 720 and could not get filled. And it then eventually came back to give you the fill, but it was just gangbusters. Like if you were short, you were probably having trouble getting out of it. That's part of the story there, but it's already back to these levels. It's just nothing is safe from coming back and peeling back in this market, but we'll see what happens. I joked with Sean at the beginning, before we actually even came on air, that yesterday, we were looking at, I went long on AMC at $10. And then today might be on the bid of AMC at $10 again. Yeah. And in the meanwhile, it only went to 14.
What a difference a day makes. Yeah, I mean, we got some crazy movement yesterday, obviously. Oh, man, I can't believe look where we got, I mean, again, we should have just held the short, man. I mean, Facebook, we gave back, well, we didn't give back much, but Facebook does break through well, we gave it back, but Facebook breaks through 186. That's why, we talked about this the other day, and I heard Trader Prad talk about it earlier as well, that this is a scalper's market, right? And I said that a couple days ago, and I'm glad that Trader Prad reiterated it today to you guys, because like some of these trades, like if I just took them out instead of holding, they'd be fine. But again, I'm fine with that, because if you don't hold, then you don't get those big wins anyways, right? So there is something about that. I'm wondering if Facebook just double bottom there, or not, I mean, it's on a minute chart, so it's not a double bottom, but we might have double ticked down there, 185.75. A little risky going long. We're below the VWAP here no, the 50 period, sorry, on the NASDAQ. So it's still, trend still obviously lower. Until we get above that, I don't think we really want to go long anything. But let's go over to Miss V.
Hey guys, I would love to update you on the poll. What do you expect from Power Hour? Rally, or you think the sell-off will continue? Well, majority of people so far voted for the sell-off. They'll continue. We will see as Power Hour has officially begun. I wish you all the luck, a lot of profitable trades, and remind you to like this video. We're super close to 1K likes, guys.
Yes, make sure you hit the like. More importantly, like Sean said, hit that subscribe so we get another one of these shiny things. We can make our own, but realistically, it's really just about like thanking you guys for getting to something like that, because it really is about the viewers at the end of the day, and it's just a lot of fun for us to be able to celebrate with you. Brennan just brought something to our attention. This Zen. If you saw this pop up on any of your like scanners or locators just now, there was a deal rumor here. It spiked up to 99, sort of came right back in. I mean, we saw with that switch, I think it was like multiple days of rumors, and then eventually there was a there, like the deal actually went through at 34. This is another name that has been absolutely, just destroyed. Put in, hey, oddly enough, look at that. There's a double bottom on the daily, triple if you count today, and then suddenly there's a deal rumor. I don't know any details here, but certainly worth putting on the radar. Like I said, with Switch, it happened 2 days in a row, and then on the third day, there was an actual deal for the stock, 34 all cash.
Oh my God.
We'll see what happens there. Zen in play. Microsoft cannot get through 251, like 20 or so. Like it keeps bouncing, giving up $1, and then just coming right back in. So I guess that's going to have to be the play. Reload at 250, take it out for $1. I don't know about trying to hit this home run of the trade. It doesn't seem like it wants to be there.
So, I mean, we're not getting stop hunted or anything like that. It's not that big of a deal. But like right there, Apple takes down 140, we get out, then the market retraces and tanks again another 40 cents. Look at what happened to Facebook. We get out right there at 180, 186 break, and then it rips back up to 186.60. So yeah, it's pretty whippy right now. So you got to be very, very careful with what you're trying to do. I like the Microsoft short, but at the same time, this market is just, it's too... I mean, it doesn't look that crazy here on this kind of a move. But when you're watching a stock like Facebook or AMD or something like that, like these little wicks up here make a big difference, especially when you come back down. It's like everybody gets excited that the rally's going to happen, and then people like me that have stops in and all that get executed, and then it just seems like it wants to fade right back down. So yeah, that sucks, man. A couple bad outs there for me. One on Apple, now's, it's 40 cents worse now for me. That sucks. We already talked about our AMD out, which is actually okay. That just came back down, but I'm still liking it as an out there. We'll try to go a little more short into that one. I know Neil's on Softy, and oh man, there's a bad wick there. Okay, yeah. But yeah, this 252 is probably an area there. So I would watch it. No, I do have it. I just zoomed in. Oh. So yeah, so that's that play. I always want to go long Softy, so maybe 252 break to the long side is what we're looking for here on MSFT, as the market right now is above the 50 period. You could see that, so that's kind of what we were waiting for. Screw you, Facebook. I'm not even looking back at you because I know I'll be upset as it's starting to rip again right now. But yeah, Microsoft taking down 252, I like that trade. I think we'll probably go ahead and do that. 252 long on Microsoft. Here it comes right now. I'd hate to push the long and then get hit on it, but hey, I mean, that's what trading is all about here. We got to take some risks. There's Microsoft. Yeah, it's not going to look good on the chart, but I'll fix that for you. 252 long, I think, is a decent spot.
Yeah, if we get through there, I mean, I'm looking at that point, like 53 is the next level up. You'll be happy about this one, Fahad. Look what's strong today. Veru was getting clapped this morning. Like, I remember sitting down and just watching it fall down on earnings, and then it went as well. Now it's trying to charge back up to the high of the day. A couple people mentioning it in the chat, which, obviously, we try not to miss anything that's showing strength or giving you these moves. And if this gets to 870, you do see the chance that it could break back out. Now, put things into perspective. When I say break back out, it's already pulled in pretty heavily here. And if we were to get through that 870, it's more the gap fill that it's got, and it's got a dollar gap to the next level up. That's why it should be interesting for us to at least take a bit of a look at it on Viru. I feel like I might get trailed out on that T-non. It's coming quickly, but there goes Microsoft. It just took that 252 level to the upside. Yeah, it just ticked through. It only got like 5 cents above. Now 10 cents above now, but it's now starting to churn right through. Like I said, I'm not even looking at VWAP. A lot of times that's where I think this move could go. In this market, I kind of feel like the morning low, 253, the last area of resistance, that's going to be where I get back out, and then I'll try to jump back in if we retest the lows, which if you're a betting man this week, you'll get it shot at. At some point, that's not going to be true. Like, we'll say it enough, and eventually there will be one of these bottoms where we actually break out and we're just sort of screaming back toward the highs like we're used to seeing in the last few years. But until that happens, I'm scalping you're taking this out for the 2 or 3, whatever it happens to get. I'll probably trail it. If we get to 252, say quarters, I put the trail on, and as I say that, we're back below 252. It doesn't take long.
No. All right. So I want to just beat myself up over that Facebook, man. Facebook would now be $1.80 in the money, and we took it out for like a 50-cent hit there, or less than that. But still, that sucks, man. We basically got hit on that one, so that's not great. AMD, I'm going to take an 85 break. We talked about that again. So I was going to go short into here, but I think I like an 85 break. That's where we just stopped at. Realistically, you have 85.20 or so as a possibility there. I know Neil just talked about Microsoft, but that just came right back in, so I'm debating that short as well right now off that wick high of 252.32 there. So you could get a short into Microsoft right now off that level. So let's try that right now on Softy. We'll see if it can go or not, but that's not a horrible spot, I don't think, here for Microsoft if we can get it. So that's 252. So we can get it. I need to decide that I want to do it right now. So we should have put that on.
I just got trailed out of Microsoft.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, well, not fine. Well, maybe it's fine.
We'll see.
I feel stupid. We should have been short there, Softy. I'm going to clean that wick up, but that 252, we should have got that short. We didn't. I was talking about getting AMD short. We didn't. We're going to wait for that one to blow upside. But yeah, the market retracing back down a little bit here. Darn it, man. That Facebook, I'm still mad about that.
Yeah, I just got trailed. Like we said, at some point, these are going to start to hold, but until it happens, then we're not going to get them. And you know what? Like, the reason why I said I'll be on Intel, or probably short for the rest of the day, on that bounce, you just saw several names bounce higher. Like, you saw Microsoft, you saw Facebook. The market didn't get that far, but some of the big tech names had bigger rallies in it. Intel went up like 10 cents. It's still barcoding off that 42. If we take the low of the day, every day this has a sell imbalance too, so I wouldn't be surprised if it slapped $1 million sell imbalance as well. AMD, by the way, just got back up to exactly 85. I mean,
I canceled that. I should probably try it.
Like, really, exactly 85 before it turned around there? Like, sometimes the market, when you have big volume but liquidity is a little bit questionable and the moves start getting bigger, sometimes the levels aren't all that complicated. And yeah, I wish I was watching that one, but trading Microsoft, that's a well I'll go back to, by the way. No trouble going back into that one. I keep seeing people talk about SoFi, which I have not looked at today. So if you're psyching me out and SoFi isn't moving, shame on you. Load. SoFi is not moving. You got me.
Wow.
It's not moving.
What's it up today? Oh, it's flat today, yeah. Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, that's no good. Okay, so stock's starting to move again, upside, some of the names anyways. I was looking, look at this interesting name right here. We traded it today. Look at Palantir. Let me just zoom back out here. Look what this is doing. You want to talk about barcoding right now? It's doing absolutely nothing, but trying to now go on the futures, not doing anything. So this could be a break there of 725 for Palantir. If that does break, I mean, I don't want to, this is the problem. If you take that break of 725, which it looks like it wants to get to right now, where's your out if you're wrong? I mean, that's really the problem. And I just don't want to give it down to 710. I don't know, like, does it go? It has to go back to day's high. 725 in. you need to expect it to get back to day's high in order to take the same risk to reward on that, right? So 15 cents up puts you there, 15 cents back puts you right in here. So tough to take that trade right here on Palantir. If anything, maybe it's a short into that 725. So I was, thinking about that for sure. I'm embarrassed that I don't have that Microsoft short at 252. That should have been short there for me. I was talking about it, should have done it. But maybe that Palantir, that could be something right there too. That's what you call, look at that volume. That's what you call wick off top right there. So, instead of talking about it, we could have took it. So I think we're going to do that right now. 723 or so. If we break that 725 top, then we'll get out. Maybe there's something brewing here with Palantir. Maybe there's not. But here comes Microsoft right now again. So I'm going to try to fry some bigger fish right now. I'm going to adjust that chart, but I'm looking for 252 short. I mean, we'll take it in the 80s if we can get it. So maybe Microsoft does bump up and give us that short one more time. And Facebook, honestly, my number one stock, but I'm like sick to my stomach on that one because we should still be long and it'll be $2 in the money, but we got stopped out on a 186 break. We should have given it to 187.
Ooh, 187. You know that number.
Or sorry, 185 we should have given it to.
Well, that's not as much fun.
No, it's not.
Well, okay,
that's
not really a fun number, obviously. I just mean the song. NVIDIA here, another name which is worth looking at. Look at the bottom channel. So we're just looking for things that are giving this setup. 158, it's a hard top. It's similar to the 252 on Microsoft that you've seen put in, except it's had, these wicks notwithstanding, a couple of tests at this level and reverse back. So if it bumps up, this is one I'd like to fade. You can see the relative weakness here for NVIDIA, down 6%, market on these lows. If we're going to make another bottom channel, then I think we're going to go with NVIDIA 158. I want to short it. Finally, we are done with this Tenon. Oddly enough, I don't actually know the name of this company, but it did just trail out, so I just covered at 8. Looks like we got 815 or so. And ever since I've been seeing these happen over and over again, I'm determined to trade them every single time I see it. And the key is going to be if it goes into this downward 10, 12 halts, once it puts the up halt, or the reversal, if it's the upside and it comes down, sort of a similar thing. And then I'm just playing whenever it can stay open. Like it could not stay open past a single 3-minute bar, just insta-halting. And then after it halted up the second time, it then stayed open. And when it showed that kind of stability, it's like, okay, now you can actually maybe trade this thing. And then you play the reverse. If it broke 14, I was stopped out to be sure, but it didn't. And we got out of this one, now all done with that. Carvana I'll still play. Could have just punched short in NVIDIA the way this market's going instead of actually waiting for our price because NVIDIA is now on the low of the day, obviously.
All right, we're going to try, man, a little thrown around. I mean, we've made money here in the power hour. It's been great. Or since 2 p.m. We haven't put on too many trades here in the last 10 minutes or so. I'm just being very specific. I'm waiting for that Microsoft level. And then I just want to talk about Palantir. We just talked about that high, and then it just tanked 10 cents off that. So there's that wick top. Now, because we're coming back in, I am going to use this 709 or so area here. Well, I will try to take a piece in the middle here, 712, 713, something like that, just in case that meant something. I mean, maybe we go back up to the top if the market rallies. So we'll try to take a little piece here of Palantir. Ford was a missed opportunity. We had that. Well, I mean, it's still there. I was looking for this 1210 early. We actually wind up missing that. It only goes down to 1215, but maybe Ford does come in at some point. Okay, here comes Microsoft right back up. So we're trying to wait here. I fixed the chart so it looks a little bit better here. That was 252.30. So if we get short, we can give it up to there at least. We'll average into this position. I want to start it around here, I said, in the 80s. So we'll start a short on Microsoft here. Although now the futures are above. This is the NASDAQ futures. We're above the 50 period, but we sort of danced around here before. So I'm not super concerned. If we're going to really look at the futures, we need to break like above some of these levels, even up here. So 11,800, like all of this is just garbage. This is just all noise. You've seen what's happened to me in this noise. We hit Facebook, we made money, then got dumped out, then it ripped. The same thing with AMD, the same thing with Microsoft. So in this area right here, we're getting chopped out. Yeah. So we have to wait for the NASDAQ either to get going or to dump and look for a short. So right now, I'm just trying to play key levels. Microsoft obviously hears me and doesn't want to go up into the 80s, so we'll see if it can get up there right now, but that's what I'm waiting for Microsoft. AMD, I feel like that trade is gone. It's still there, but if I want to go short Microsoft, I can't go long AMD, so I'm picking my poison. I'm going to take Microsoft short instead of AMD long, so that's kind of what we're waiting for. Both. When AMD went to 85, that's when Microsoft took out the top. So they're both going to dance together, obviously. And for me, Although AMD short is almost just as good as Microsoft short. Like I don't really have a difference in that. So let's just trade softy because we had that wick top. But either way, we're looking to get short something. Might not be for a long time, but hopefully we'll be able to get something here into the short to ride it into the close.
Yeah, and as I was just talking about NVIDIA 158, it can't seem to get there, but still going to wait for it to go there. And if I see along Microsoft, it's only going to be 250. I think it was B in the chat at least a couple times mentioning Tesla 700. I get you. You know, on the 15-minute, you can see what this Tesla 700 break would look like if we get there. But it's kind of like 250 on Microsoft. I mean, Apple happened at 140. NVIDIA could break its low. Maybe Intel could break 42. The market could take 11.7 on the NASDAQ. None of those have happened yet. So it's not like I don't think you're shorting Tesla into that support level because if we actually catch a bid, you don't really have much of an out for that short. But you take a breakdown at 700, yeah, I mean, that could accelerate pretty quickly. We've seen Tesla do it in the past. It just has to get there. That's what we're kind of looking for right now. What has a chance to get to a significant level? That's why I brought up Veru. Like, it's not that it's not even there yet either, but it's getting pretty darn close to this top. Now, as per usual, when you have a double top like this, up 5% in a weak market, yeah, am I going to look for a bit of a curl? Is the volume on this huge right now? No. So it's not gigantic volume, but it is increasing, and it's getting to that top. That gives a trade. Like, there is stop out at 875, shorted off these highs. And as I say that, I don't think I even paid for shorts of Veru this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and rectify that because guess what? If you can't short it,
Softy just went up there, and we didn't get the shares, but let's go over to Brendan quickly.
I mentioned this only because we were talking about Boeing earlier, guys, on the same note. Apparently, Kramer also selling PayPal. So PayPal actually just popped up higher on that news, guys.
Boeing didn't too.
Selling Avon.
PayPal.
PayPal.
You know what's weird is like I actually heard that pretty clearly. Sometimes we can't hear Brendan. It's all these screens.
I wasn't focused.
Yeah, there's another one that he's selling off there. So I'm glued to Veru here, but it's the same story.
Like selling off PayPal? Like, again, like I haven't listened to this guy in months and months. PayPal was one of his bigger holdings. He was telling people to buy this thing, 150, 100, and like, so now PayPal finally gets down to its like all-time lows. Like, not all-time lows.
It's not all-time.
Wow.
Wow.
I made, what did we just get out of right there? Microsoft? No, we're in Microsoft. Nothing. Okay, all good. All right, so PayPal here. I feel like I was in a trade and I just got out, but my trade list doesn't show that, so that's okay. All right, yeah, right now, PayPal, what I was getting at here is like, all right, so now you're getting out? Like, what about all the minions that were following this guy all the way down in now? And now it's like, okay, we're at the very low now, time to get out? Like, I'm not saying that these calls are wrong. I mean, if you've been getting out of any of your, wait, I still have Fisker. I'm still puzzled by all that, what just happened to me. If you're getting out of any of your longs right now, then obviously you're thinking that there's much more destruction to come. I just don't think there's much more destruction to come. Is there more pain? Yes, for sure. I mean, the market every day is down. So, but like enough to liquidate your full position. It's one thing if he says, hey guys, let's get out of 50% or something like that. Enough is enough. But like all of it down here at these lows, I'm just perplexed.
I like that
I think that works, yeah. With that decision. So anyways, I'm also perplexed with my own decision making right now as we are short Microsoft into this rally.
We're bouncing here.
Yeah, we're bouncing pretty nicely here. And I'm kind of just mad, honestly, because of Facebook. And I don't want to revenge trade this, but like getting dumped out there at 186 really sucked. Aww. It's my #1 stock today. We're cruising. We're having a great day, but we're about to get taken out here on Softy if it does take this out. And there it is. We should, and let me guess, AMD's rocking to the upside now as well. There it is. 85 gets taken. We're long 85 now on AMD. Let's see if this one can take us to the promised land, and we'll make everything back. So right now that's going. And then my Microsoft did not get taken out. Okay. So yeah, I thought there was some sort of problems with my order types and everything right now, but we're still into Microsoft that we don't mean to be, so we got to get out of this one.
So I just got trailed out of Carvana, which, you know, holding out that it would break 36, and if it broke that support level, you're looking for the low 30s, but we broke the channel back to the upside, so got to get out of it. And then you almost didn't see it, but it did happen. Yeah, that NVIDIA, like it just, sitting there waiting for it to get to 158. It broke 158 and then was immediately at those quarters. Maybe too tight of a stop there. But the way that was happening, it's just like you blink and the market was heading back into the upside. If we can actually reclaim this level to the downside, I'll probably jump back into the trade. Veru I did get into. It's just basically barcoding off that high of the day, but I got an 858 short. The high is 71s. I'd probably give it to the quarters at least there. But hey, we're getting a bounce. Oh, this is why. We just broke 19s on UVXY. We're really starting to come back down here. So obviously, this market looking like it's going to make another attempt at a bounce. So that's why you don't sit in a Tesla short. Either it goes to 700 and breaks, otherwise if you just sort of sit in it anticipating the move instead of playing the move when it happens, you're sort of sitting there out of the money. But the market trying to make another bounce, maybe this is the day it follows through.
Yeah, maybe. And I don't know right there. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I thought there was some sort of problems there, but unfortunately we had to get out there once it broke through 253 on Softy. We do still have AMD, which is a good one, coming in. We don't have Palantir, although that's right back at that 25. That could be a good short there if you think the market just went a little too high on that play. We're going to get some more out on AMD, so it's pretty good. We got out some 40s and stuff like that, but again, still, we took a hit there on Microsoft, and look where Facebook is, by the way. 190 it just touched out there. So Facebook making a nice move to the upside and just cruising around. There goes AMD as well. And we are short Rivian. Rivian made a little run up there. I'm trying to go short Rivian in front of this 2440. So another short call for us on RIVN. Let's see if that can pay off a little bit now. So we're short into Rivian at 2418. Would like to get this thing right back into here. 2390 or so for Rivian is kind of my target. Although right now, if we can, maybe we'll take some out at 24 flat, and then we do have a little bit of a lower bottom here that we're looking at. What's up, Brendan?
Day high alert here, guys, for VERU. Once again, back to the upside now. 7% after earnings this morning were bad, but just took out that high.
And it's about to take out 75, where my stop is at. And I say this every single time, like this is where the limit order goes to. So my stop is right here. 875. It ticks above, I'm out. I'm just throwing an order on a limit basis up to 890. It's one of those, it's just the way it works in the system. It shows the price you put the order in, not the actual stop price. Market is, it's trying to go, baby. It's trying to go. Now we're like 18. We're pulling back on UVXY pretty heavily here. And like we're now back at like 1850. So there is, there is something to this move. And we're like at 320 already. So we're like a third of the way through power hour, and UVXY is making a big move. I'm looking over at Affirm here because that's Affirm reports aftermarket. If you're just tuning in now, if this tries to take out and gets to like a double top, that's a pretty significant turnaround ahead at $19. So if it gets up there, I'm looking for that one for potential short trade. Tesla, we already mentioned, is moving. If that gets to 740, that's a pretty significant level for Tesla there. And yeah, it's a good thing we didn't reload into NVIDIA there at 158. It's already at 159.50. So took that one off, had to have a stop there. Wish I had held on to Microsoft 250, but that was a scalp trade. I said take the $2 and run. I even put a trailing stop on, because if you did that every single day, tried to hold on for these moves to extend on the long, really it didn't work out for you. So, the last day you do it is the day that obviously you should have gone the other direction and not been conservative with it. But you sort of play what you think is going to be right most of the time, not just that one time.
All right. Wow. Big move here for AMD. I'm glad we eventually punched that long there. But we thought we got out of Microsoft, and then unfortunately our stop missed. So it didn't really work out on that front, because we lost more on Microsoft than we're going to be making on AMD here. But again, like that's just myself making some keystroke errors and things like that. But Microsoft the order didn't hit. I don't know why. And I just didn't cross up enough. I only crossed up 5 pennies. That's not enough when a key level breaks like that. So that's my bad there on Softy. We should have got out at that 252 break, not 253 break. So we gave ourselves an extra $1 by accident, and that's what happened there. So bad out and bad trading for me on that one. And then there goes Rivian, man. We give back a little bit more there as it took down that 40. Nice little upside move. But I'm fine now. Like now we only have the one long. Forget about Fisker. Fisker's a light trade. I'm just letting that go. I don't care. But right now, AMD, a nice move to the upside. So we'll try to hold some of these longs. We should be longer in some names. I don't know if we want to get long into Apple yet. Like, if anything, I'm thinking about shorting it into 142.50 if it comes up to that level. So that's a name that I'm looking to short. I was looking long Facebook. We had that. That didn't work out. And of course, now Rivian, as it touches that 48, or 40, then it comes right back in. One more chance here for Rivian. Let's see if we can get a short in now. Rivian, the problem with Rivian is it's still SSR, I guess, still from yesterday. So yeah, I can't just punch the offer. I got to wait on the offer now to get some more shares. So that just ticked up there. The market's trying to hold up. Let's see if we get back to positive. And that's what we talked about, right? We wanted to go long once we took out these levels here on the NASDAQ. And that's what happened. We punched long on AMD, and now you're seeing that's $1 now or so. Well, now it's 75 cents in the money, but took that dollar back up to the upside. Oh, damn you, Rivian. We didn't need to lose a little bit of cash on that, but we did as Rivian's coming back in now as well.
And even AMC made a bit of a bouncer. I kind of thought we would see 10 if it broke 1050, but the market bounced. It just got through 11. I was looking to see if it could hold a bit above 11. There's some guys stacked. I shouldn't say that. There's some orders stacked at 5 and 6 just on top of this 11 level, which is probably why it's having some trouble chewing through it. But if we can get through that, I'll probably try to take the long into VWAP there, give it like a 25-cent stop, something along those lines. While I'm looking for that to happen, we're screaming upside. We're getting close. We got pretty close there on a firm, but we're only at about 18.20, still looking for 19 even. But yeah, no reload on NVIDIA. It's now got up to this 160 area, or at least attempting to get to that 160, where it could put the curl in. Tesla's still about $15 away from its resistance point. What? And there goes Veru. Veru just broke out the top. I got out. I didn't get the, wow, okay, give me a break, Veru. So it just broke the top, wick topped, and now there's 80,000 shares on the offer at the same high, that 875. So of course, you get the wick off top there. Now I got to sit back and try and get back into position. Can I hit the bid? It's not SSR. Yeah, I can hit the bid.
Oh, yeah.
So I did hit some of it for the bid and see if I can't get more shares. The difference when you take it the second time through on the wick off top is your stop isn't necessarily the previous high. Well, my stop isn't the previous high. It'll actually be the current high of the day, which is now 885. But there is 80,000 shares on that 75 level in between it. And that came in, like the second it broke, that order just got shoved right in. Like it got to 85, and then someone put their 80,000 and probably a few more shares in that, brought it all the way down to that 75 level, and they're just sitting there trying to take the fill.
All right, I'm just staring. I hope we're looking at the same stock here. Yeah, AMD. So, yeah, just staring at this one. Ooh, it just went to 14 where my order is, trying to get some out on that high. There it is. Yes, sir. So we'll floss it off, man. I'm still pissed off about a few things, as per usual. But, oh, that Microsoft's really upsetting because AMD is just ripping, and we wanted this name, man. Yeah, another great stock to trade here, AMD. We waited for Rivian to get to 50. Guess what? It got to 50, and right now it wants to take out some more highs. So I'm just going to put in a stop here at 61. So if it takes down this 24, again, Rivian can, we've already seen it today. Like, I'm shorting a name that's up 20%. So this is, dancing with the devil, obviously, but let's just see. Rivian, it's going to head to the upside now. I still don't think much has changed for these guys. It was a wild, wild ride. We were initially short down here, so that's why I'm biased short again. And I'm not going to give it up to 25. But if you were holding, for a longer time frame, maybe 25, 26 is a decent level. I don't think we're going to get back up here unless this market really wants to rally. So just be careful with all of that stuff there for Rivian. But now we're short. We're only short 40. So we're out of the money 4 cents right now on this one. But we've basically got out of all of our longs. We still do have a little piece on AMD. If AMD can get up here to 87, then we'll take that out. But right now, AMD long, Rivian short, and Fisker. I might just get out of Fisker so I don't have to worry about it, but that's 40 cents in the money. Let's go over to Brendo.
Maybe a possible do-over from this morning's rally, guys, as we head towards the close. Here goes GME one more time. Big volume alert there for GameStop.
And of course, if you'd said that like 20 seconds ago, I wouldn't be in the NVIDIA trade. I'd be flipping over to GameStop because once that went, it basically stole all of my attention because it's GameStop. And I think when you're looking for something that really moves, that's going to be it. But NVIDIA rolled over at didn't roll over. It stalled at 160.25. It got back below that 160 level, so I put the short on. The stop is in, so I can now go over to GameStop here. Wow, Microsoft still at that 254 level. I know that 250 level was really good on Microsoft. We'll probably get a chance to see it again the way this market's going. Maybe not today, but GameStop, it got to 94. Yeah, I wouldn't have traded off that level anyways. Really, if this is going to break, I kind of want to see it at 100. That's the big one. If it had curled at 90, that would have been a level as well. But, it's worth going over to it. Like the mistake I made on GameStop was getting out too early. I even caught a reload at $100 and then still didn't hold it through to the $85 target, which I should have. But NVIDIA we did grab. I looked at Microsoft potentially for like a curl trade there at 254. I decided to go with NVIDIA because NVIDIA got my interest at 158 and then it made that spike up. So we'll do one of these because I can't do that dance in real life. And I did try this because my daughter was into it and she can kind of floss, but I can't do it. So we get our animation for it. And there goes NVIDIA down through 159, so 160 short. Now we'll try to take 148. The other thing that happened, by the way, and I keep putting UVXY up for you guys, but UVXY basically, now it just disappeared, so I got to do this. It basically just got right down to 1830, which was the noon bottom, and then bounced off that level. So as usual, when we fall down in volatility, UVXY, it finds the first level of support and then bounces off of it. And if you're looking to short something, that's generally the moment to put it on. And if you're looking to cover along, that's also a good reason to do so.
All right, we're trying. Okay, I was going to say we're trying, but we are doing Rivian. So we're out now for 10 cents there. Let's see if it can fall even more, man. I'm waiting at 26 now to take out another 10%. And then if this market continues to flush, there it is. Do we get filled? Yes, we did. Oh, yeah, it filled everything at 26. So here we go. Now now it's filling everything, literally everything at 26. Resisting though right now as the market's bouncing back up. So we'll take a little bit of profit on that one. So we'll drop that down for you right now as the market's pulled back. So does Rivian comes. Oh, now Rivian's coming in nicely. Let's put a bid at 22 in case it flushes. Nice move, Rivian. You could sometimes sense what they wanted to do, and someone flushed that down to 22. Then the guy left. It became so easy to hit the long, and then someone just hit that upside. So let's see if it goes back down. We'll take a 27 again because that was our best fill was 26. So here comes now. You see? So they're holding. Like there's definite back and forth here on this name. Like, and I know that sounds obvious, but it's like it doesn't want to hold 28. Like, watch, it'll print. There'll be a whole flurry of them. Way more shares did I just get, okay, I got 27s. So way more shares going off than are actually here. So there's dark pools on both sides. And when one of them gives it up, they pull for like 4 or 5 cents and it drops just like the other way. Like there's programs pinging this. When the dark pools are gone, it just clears like 7 or 8 levels and moves that way. So we'll sit at 22 and hopefully grab that. Yeah, we're still long 85 here. Obviously, AMD goes back to VWAP. Normally, that would be a spot to take some more out. So I think we could do that right now, 85.60. Take a piece out there on VWAP. But if we get back to 86 is where I'm actually sitting. So we'll wait to see if that can come through here. As look what just happened to Rivian. The exact same thing. It stopped at 28. See? Look at that. And then ripped to 34 and then right back down again. And there's no size here yet. It's doing tons of size. And these levels just give it up like so easily there. Yeah. It doesn't want to go 1 penny, but then it goes 10, no problem. Let's hope it goes 10 to the downside. And
speaking of the downside, don't miss the bus when you catch these curls. There was 160 on NVIDIA. As soon as we're in, we're going to be out. Scalp trade all the way. I got to that 158.50 level and then checked right up. And what I saw happen there was I'm watching UVXY, and then it essentially consolidated at about 1850, 1860. And once it started channeling back to the downside, I just took out NVIDIA. So I'm just basically looking at it. And whenever I see it consolidate or hold a level, if it's falling to the downside and then starts consolidating, looks like it's going to fall further, then you want to get out of your shorts, and I guess vice versa. The exception to that is this Intel, which, quite frankly, if it's below 43, I'm short the stock. So it's still below 43. If this gets up to 43, I would reload it, but it's in the middle. And we're not diddling in the middle. That's not what we're going to do. And I would have, if this move on a firm had extended to anywhere closer to 19, I probably would be in it to the short side. It looks like it wants to turn at like 1850, but I'm not sure it's done yet. If this market continues to the upside, maybe we get to 18s on UVXY, which just went, is getting very, very close to turning negative on the day, then I think, a firm has a chance to get up to those highs. And I'm waiting for those highs to be able to be in this stock. You might as well be a little bit cautious with it. We did get an early look from Financial Juice and that's the imbalance locator for the end of the day. $275 million to the sell side. which quite frankly isn't a lot. Right. I think the last time we had a really violent day and there was a small sell imbalance, I could be wrong about this. Maybe you remember better than I do, maybe, Sean. I think it came out. It was a small sell, and it ended up being a buy when it eventually hit 350, and the market kind of went to the upside after that. But pretty much a nothing sell imbalance. 275 million is pretty small. Yeah,
that is going to be nothing burger. Not like Beyond Meat today was a juicy burger for that one. But the thing about Beyond Meat is like, there's so much fat in them. There's so much sodium in them. Like, they're not a healthy choice. They talked about supply chain issues, and you talked about that fake jerky stuff and things like that. So Beyond Meat definitely in trouble. Let's go over and have a quick look at that name. It's not in trouble today. It was in trouble earlier, and then we talked about the explosion there that we had. Again, one of my top. Actually, since I lost on, oh no, it's still. So it goes Facebook, Beyond, then Apple for all of them in order, and then Disney actually right next. And we've only made one trade on Disney. We'll talk about that earlier or in a minute here. But yeah, Beyond Me right now, just kind of barcoding. Watch out for that drop through 24.50. I don't even think I paid for shorts. I think you have to watch out for that because it is going to be on SSR as well, because it was, and that SSR, if you hear us say that, short sale restricted. So you can't just smash the bid. You got to wait to get filled on this side before hitting that side. All right, let's just quickly go. Rivian's back down right now. I wanted to look at another stock, Disney, 103. So this is what our trade was early. And okay, this made me nervous because we got filled right away. We didn't think we would get this fill. And I said that I don't want to play these ranges early on, but we took a 102.50. It's on the sticky note. We played it against 103, but because it happened early, we didn't, it only went to 102.90, so we were really lucky. I didn't even have my stop order in at that point. So if this would have ran, we probably would have got out like 103.50, something like that. But then it absolutely collapsed, giving our best out at 100 there. So we wound up taking about $2.30 or 40 cents on the piece as it came. This is like, it wasn't even open yet. We started getting a dollar, then there at 101 again, and our best out rate there. But Disney today, I know they reported and it wasn't great, but we're going to have to look at this level tomorrow, 105. If 105 can come in, that's something to look at for Disney. There's Rivian. Now Rivian's, it was just down there, and then it ripped. See, then it ripped back up. Now here's 28 again, and it doesn't want to break. So we're short at 40. I'm going to put one more piece at 28, and then the rest are just for lower, man. Hopefully we can get it in. These buyers will stop, but I'm going to take a piece out at 30. There it is. Okay, here we go. 20. I don't even have a bid out, so let me put a bid right now. If we can get a 28 bid, that'd be great. There we just got it instantly as it breaks through. So hopefully Rivian can come down. I'm going to sit at like 17. Randomly. Hopefully we get that. Otherwise, Rivian comes out if we break this high of 24.60. Pretty simple. Making some money back on this name, though.
Yeah, and remember I said I was going to look for AMC if it could hold that bit above. It doesn't do so, and I talked myself out of GameStop. That's right back to 90. So went up, got to 94. I guess 95 would have been more interesting, and then right back into 90. But it is consolidating here, and guess what? We're still sliding to the downside in volatility, which does bode decently well. I don't want to say bode really well because that'll probably jinx the market, but bodes decently well that we could still get a late rally. I'm looking at Tesla here. It's holding the higher low, holding VWAP. So I'm kind of liking the shot at this 720. But I got my eyeballs here. Like what you don't want to have happen is like you get into it right as we're bouncing off the level in VWAP. But it'll be a relatively tight stop here. I'm just sort of looking at that 720 on a dime in Tesla. And it's more the risk to reward than anything else. Like if we can get 21.5, 22s, risk a couple on Tesla, and if we follow through at any point in the VIX, like forget about 730. Of course, he'd scalp some out, but I think that 740 would be very much in place. So just looking at the risk reward here on Tesla, but my eyes are still glued to UVXY. I don't think the imbalance is going to matter too much necessarily for Tesla per se, but we do care about that 350 mark. Just as a general level, the market tends to make a decision at that particular point.
Face Rivian. We finally said when this breaks, it would break. And there it is right now. So notice the future's doing absolutely nothing right now, and Rivian just tanked 40 cents. When that buyer was gone, it just fell, and now it can just trade naturally. Look at this thing. $24. We're 40 cents now in the money on this Rivian short. It just sucks that we got blown out. We knew we wanted the short there. Well, we didn't get blown out, but we got stopped out right there. But once we noticed what was happening, we tried to just, make sure that we didn't get taken out if it broke through 60 there. It didn't. So again, look what's happening there. We took about 20 cents worth of risk to be now 40 cents in the money. So here comes Rivian back down in. I like this trade. Let's see where it goes from here. Looks like it wants to fade out. AMD, we've made back a lot of the money that I lost there on Softy, and a lot of the money that we lost, well, didn't lose, but the upside there in that Facebook. But AMD was a big reason. It does break that 85. I talked about why we liked it. Look, and this is where you got to have different tools in your toolbox. I was actually just talking to Pratt about this, on a message right now. It's like, if you just use the 50 period or VWAP or stuff like that, it's going to be great. And, if you've back tested like I have and you trust your ability to read the charts and so on and so forth, that definitely helps. But, sometimes it's just simple breaks. Like, this was a simple break of 85, man. Microsoft's was a simple break of 252. And it's just like, once they get going, like, sure, if you trade this 50 period, it's great. You might be long in here somewhere. But sometimes just the clean breaks, play the momentum to the upside, and that's really what matters. So, you got to back test. Neil and I just wouldn't be sitting here throwing out trades. Like, we've traded GameStop when it's halted before. We've traded like AMC when it's ripped. We've Apple, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So we're pretty comfortable sitting here hitting keys. It's by far not easy to do, but you got to watch your trades. And I mean, I've today made,
let's go.
Like, I just got short on Microsoft there. Like, I didn't even realize. Like, I know I didn't have that order sitting
UVXY just broke that recent support level.
Yeah.
So it was 18.25 in UVXY, and I know I wanted 720 on Tesla, but the moment that it happened to be 725 on Tesla. So it's not the quarters, but it's every $5. It did give me a stop out that I could take if we got back through 725. Now my long is 25.81. I just said even though I didn't get 20s, I'm still taking some out in front of 730. Right, like that part of the trade doesn't change. Like that was still the resistance level. If we can continue though, I still think we have a shot to get into that 740 level. Continuing has been the problem for the long, though. So that's why you scalp some out there. So quick in and out on Tesla, but I'm still holding it. If we break back below, I might give it to like 24.90 or something or 24.5 or something along those lines. But if we break back below that channel, 720 is still in play. But this is what I was sort of getting at. You finally have a shot here. Like, can we really do this?
All right.
If we take out 18 on UVXY and actually even remotely test that bottom, there's no reason the market couldn't actually rally and go green today. And, we can hope that it happens at some point. It's going to. I think we know that to be true. It hasn't yet because every single day we've ended up on the lows. This feels a little bit different because guess what? It's 340 and we're off the bottoms.
Yep.
Could you say that at any day this week? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we're at the lows every single day by this point, or at least close enough to it. So I like Tesla here. It could have been 720. It ended up being 725, but 740 is my target as long as we're able to hold this consolidation.
Temporary, and I said, oh my God, I didn't mean to get that Microsoft. I didn't realize it went all the way back up to 254 there, and that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted this short into that level, so we took Microsoft. Now it's 50 cents in the money. We're out of 40%. Thinking that we could test lower here, just kind of on the same rhetoric that Neil was talking about. The market is up right now, not up on the day, but it's trying to get there, trying to get back up. We're going to need to take this. We talked about it earlier, man. It needed to take this level. When it did, it screamed. But right now, it's having a hard time again, right into here. So now I feel like, look, we'll be out of Microsoft before this happens, but into the close, not super worried too much about the shorts, but you're seeing now that names that have been beat down, that hit key levels, like a Microsoft, like Microsoft 250, Apple 140 today, right? So some of these names starting to get a little juicy here into the close. AMD, we're $1 in the money. We're 40 cents in the money on the short on Microsoft, but this is not anymore. It's just dancing. It was just at 60 cents. Now it's at 80. So these stocks are dancing, man. And
We're at 18. Why?
Yeah, this is wild. Congratulations to the Leafs, man. That was a crazy game. Yeah, exactly. Go Leafs, go here. We're getting ready for game numero 6. And hopefully it's over in 6.
Yes, over in 6. That's what we're talking about here.
Yes.
You guys don't, people have seen celebrations when teams win championships.
Yeah, they haven't
and
really,
I promise you this, even you guys in the States, like, forget it. You have not seen anything until you've probably seen what will happen when the Leafs eventually win a cup. And when they
win a cup.
When they win a cup again, it's over. This place is going to be shut. Like the city is going to.
Dude, it's shut down after we win round one. I mean, why?
No, it'll go crazy for one. Yeah, they do that.
If we somehow beat Tampa Bay, there's going to be dudes, and one of them's probably our friend, although he's not here right now, in another country.
He'll fly up.
He was standing on top of light poles and stuff. And all we did was beat Ottawa in the second round. And they had to put cops on horses on Yonge Street.
The cop was just watching him, by the way. He's like, okay.
It was like, no, but they couldn't do anything. There were so many people.
Oh, come on, Tesla.
Bang right now as we go the bang there on this stock as the market goes down. Look what happens, man. Diamond hand gang. If you're here, look what's happened to Microsoft. We just took that 254 short. So I go from being really pissed off to now I'm pretty happy. We're talking about the Leafs. Everything's going on. A lot of this is just a joke. You don't want to get too emotional. Look, as your neck goes up and down, you're going to get excited, right? So that's part of what my game's all about. But you're seeing a nice move down here in Microsoft. So I'm just happy to seek that revenge, man. There's that 253, a clean dollar. We just took this minutes ago. So the fact that it's tanking like that, we're super happy. The imbalances coming out at 350, that should be good. But now I'm only holding now 20% left. So out 20, 40, 60, 80. Most of them out in the 50s, man. We're so happy to take 50 cents. And then all of a sudden it drops down, we take $1, and then it goes $1.40 in the money for us. Let's see if it tests some of these bottoms again. I don't think we're in for a major, a crazy close here because, and again, the reason why the market's holding up and not doing anything. The market's down. Don't at me and say the market's holding up. It's still down 1%.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't have the trajectory that we had the last couple days where the market was flying everywhere around this time. It's kind of stayed put. It's more the stocks right now that are flying. So, by the way,
still got a chance.
Rivian.
Still strong.
How does this taste? Down to 84 right now, 83. So we'll take a piece out. We talked about this collapsing. There goes Rivian. It's a nice one. Shout out to Ms. V there. Superman is in the building on this Rivian trade. Get down, Rivian. Get down.
Yeah, I mean, the overall market actually is holding up pretty nicely there. I mean, I had a tight stop on Tesla, probably too tight. I think at this point, it's you don't want to lose on a long trade, so I kind of stopped it out so that I wouldn't take a hit. And you can see how tight that stop was. But at the same time, UVXY bounced right off 18. On a dime, bounced off 18, went back to quarters, and that's that spike you got in. As long as we're bouncing off the level, it's hard to go back into the long. What I want to see happen, obviously, is us break through. And I'm looking up at it, not showing it to you guys. If we break through these bottoms that we put in the morning, I'm punching long Tesla. It has to happen though. We're now 3 minutes away from the imbalances. So we're running out of time for this to go. But I still feel if we had gotten through these lows, I'd just jump right back in long. It didn't happen. That's why you have to take the trade-off. That's the indicator I'm using for these scalp trades. It's either it's key level on individual stock and it's key level on UVXY, and I'm putting them together and just sort of jumping in and out of the trades. It worked on NVIDIA. It worked because I made money on Tesla, but there's just no follow-through. When the NVIDIA trade worked to the short side, it followed through 2 levels. When the Tesla trade worked, it went to the first level and stopped and turned. And that's what's happening with the longs. They're just not going.
Yeah, no, that's true. We're sitting here on AMD, which is just right now just barcoding. So we're going to use this as our out, man, to break through 85.40 or so. We'll get out on that one. The reason why I don't want to get out right now is because we're 1-1, and both of these trades are $1 in the money. Long AMD is $1 in the money. Short Microsoft is $1 in the money. So I don't know which way is going to win here on the imbalances. And either way, I think we should be okay. I like the AMD long and I like the Microsoft short. So if one of them gets blown out, I'm not going to add any more positions here today. I'm pretty happy with what we've been doing. It's been a great day. I'm not at the high for myself, but pretty close to that right now for me on the day. So we'll just chill out. We'll watch to see what's going to happen. And if you're wondering, we keep talking about these imbalances. Well, what exactly are those? At 350, these are going to update, and they're going to be market on close orders, and then you're going to see these are not real. Palantir sell, these are all from 9:30, right? So as of 350, so in 2 minutes, 350, and if you're following along with us, it's 348.03, 04, 05. That's the live time here in Toronto, in case there's a delay on your stream, which there probably is. We're going to watch to see what happens here into the close. And if there's all loads up and sells, then you'll naturally see the market come back down into the downside, and then your sale will win. Like any stock that you have short will win. Not any stock, but most likely if your index name, that'll probably go one way. But here comes Microsoft right back with only a minute and a half before these imbalances. So yeah, AMD and Microsoft, one short, one long. Not sure. Maybe we'll get out of this Microsoft.
Yeah, and I'm actually probably not going to do anything
252.70
until we see those imbalances.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of one of those
maybe I'll
things.
just wait for
like
it.
I'm still absolutely staring right at both volatility and Tesla, because Tesla looks like the one that I kind of probably wanted. If I put something onto the long side late, I feel like it's going to be this, and if we get through 18th, maybe through 1780, then that's going to be the one, because it's starting to come back pretty heavily as we're testing lows again on the VIX. It's just, if we just need to make that turn, and I don't think we're going to have a decision point until we get that 350 imbalances. And if you give up a couple of dollars on the trade to get the right direction in the move, then sometimes that's just what you have to do. But the imbalance is indicating it's going to be pretty small, one way or the other. So, we'll see. It might come out as absolutely nothing, and then we just sit on our hands for the last 10 minutes, except for the fact that I guess I'll still be in Intel, which I did say. I did say I'd be in this one all day. And we're in it all day. And if your resistance level never gets taken out, then you might as well just hold it. It never had a reason to get out of the last of the trade. But running out of reasons here to get into this Tesla long again, I really just wanted to be in the long into the close, thinking we had a shot at a rally. But once again, we're not doing it.
Yeah, we're not going to go to Brendan yet because we have the imbalances in 2 seconds. So here we come right now, getting ready. I got out of my Microsoft as, of course, it's going to the downside. We went long into Apple just to see where we go. So let's see what's coming out right now. It doesn't look like a lot. The market's trying to go back upside right now. There goes Apple. It's blowing up a little bit. We're long right there. Nice out for us on Apple. We're long at 141.28. A nice blow to the upside right now. AMD going, Apple going. Good trading.
Let's go.
There's Apple with a bid. So yeah, we're starting to go long now. Good trade here for that. We'll just go to Brendan quickly and then come right back.
A couple of people talking about FAMI, guys. Farmini, that mushroom maker, making a late day run towards $1 on volume.
All right. Yeah, we just got into Apple there. 141.20. Took it out 141.70 and still holding half of our Apple. Obviously, our AMD is Scream City, man. She's a screamer. 87 right now going to the upside.
UVXY broke that low of the day. So you know what happened. Punch long Tesla when it broke 720. So we're right back to the same thing. Scalp 5. Man, if we can take out these lows, this has got to be, do it this time.
Let's go.
One time for old time's sakes. Can we rally into the close here? Follow through. That's all I'm asking. A little bit of a follow through. If we get through 1780 on UVXY, then we do have a real shot there. But scalp it till it happens. Take out some profit. That's what I've done each time I punch long in Tesla. And as always, have that stop in there. Of course, we have to be flat at the end of the day anyway, so it's entirely possible my stop never hits on Tesla. Still got to cover it before 4 o'clock. But the market's trying. We're less than 1% down today.
Let's go.
Which is like one of those small victories in itself.
Let's
but that's
go.
not what I want. I want to see green. I want to see a reversal. I want to see the VIX crack the bottom. And I want to see 740 on Tesla. And we want to see
300. We want to see 300. I mean, right now, man, you know what? I'm doing this right now. Tomorrow's going to be a long day, so you watch out. I'm switching the bull already for tomorrow.
It's early.
Yeah, I'm doing this early. We're getting ready to rock and roll.
And Leafs in 6.
There we go. Yeah, the Leafs have got this. There is the bull ready to rock and roll here as we get ready. I don't know who's favored or not for tonight, so this is going to be a good game here coming in. Yeah.
Well,
no, Tampa Bay's favored, but tonight at 7:30, you're going to get ready to rock and roll. I got to pick up the daughter at gymnastics, 7:30. Then I'm coming home to watch this game. AMD right now, $1.80 in the money. Let's go to the upside. Apple, 70 cents in the money. Yeah, buddy. And then Rivian, yeah, you made your way back, but we only have 10% of that trade left. You know what? I'm just going to get out of Rivian because, hey, this market's going to close right now. Let's just punch out right there. Oops, we missed 23s. Let's just punch 24s.
Yeah, why am I even
we get 24s out right while we got some dark pool prints there. Now we are out of that one. Just the double barrel longs right now as we cruise higher. AMD long right now. Boom, off that 85. Like, that's an 85 long that we just took not minutes ago, but at 320. That was a good one. And then Apple was the trade we just took minutes ago as that's trying to take out out some of these levels as well. So key levels hit today, and Apple didn't hold 140, but still you're above it right now. Let's see if it holds it tomorrow.
And look, I mean, the break that just happened, there's no point even holding until it gets to that 43. I'm just going to get out of it because it looks like we're trying to rally. That low, it got taken out on UVXY. It's trying to hold below it, however. But this is the first time that I can remember where on a pullback in, we actually extend through multiple areas of support. Like we checked up a couple of levels. We managed to get through one. Now we've gotten through two. If tomorrow, like if you're not watching this, if we're able to take out 17 or 17 quarter and get through that level tomorrow, yeah, then it starts to get interesting because what's been happening is no matter what the market does to the upside, you don't see VIX or UVXY break out of the channel to the downside. And what that tells me is that the hedgers are not giving up their hedges. And when they eventually do, then you can start to see a bit of an extended rally. Hopefully we get the first piece of it today and then a little bit more of it tomorrow. So let's see if we can't ride these for the next 5 minutes or so. And maybe it makes a move in the aftermarket and we miss out on a bit of it. But either way, not a bad little start for this market, trying to get back into green territory. It might not get there, but hey, we're at least trying to rally.
I will tweet it out. I'm just telling... We just got like quite a bit of subs there on that little promo there. So thanks for that, guys. We got at least 400 there. Not bad. So we're getting closer and closer and closer as we go. Okay, yeah, sometimes at 355, this market will reverse itself. So we're going to watch out to see what those imbalances do at 355, which is right now. So you can see the market's coming back in. So probably Apple is too. It just went to view up and turned around. So that's going to be a good out for Apple. So I think we just do that, man. AAPL, if we can get something near this 142, let's just take it out. There it is. We just got it out. Oh, no, we didn't. We put an offer, but we didn't get filled. We're at 141.96. I just put offer, enter, thought I got it, didn't. Let's see if we go back up. There it is. Let's go. Couple more pennies, a couple more pennies. We're at 96, and there it is. The end of the day, will Gronk spike it right now? Although Gronk is retired, but...
No, it's not for long.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, now that Brady's back, do you know, okay, Brady's career earnings, right? $333 million.
Okay.
Great. He just signed a deal with Fox for the next 10 years once he's retired, $375 million. Yeah. So dude's going to get paid more, and he doesn't even have to put on a jersey. But
he's not the only one.
When you're the GOAT, you are the GOAT.
And let's not pretend that we're all not going to
remember, Gretzky's doing it for TBS. It's not here in Canada, but he's a commentator for one of those. It's probably NBC, but for NHL.
The second people heard Tony Romo, and I'm not crapping on any sports, because there's a lot of dudes that are legends that I absolutely love, but the first time Tony Romo did a game, I was just like, this is a different level. And if you're a big time fan, like hearing it from somebody that's like in it and understanding it, like that's what you absolutely loved about it. The guy's calling what the next play would be. Like that's sure as shit amazing. Like I was just like, holy crap. So Tom Brady's gonna probably knock it out of the park too. I mean, that being said, I hate you, Tom, because you beat up on my boys for too long, and I'm always going to be a hater, and I'm always going to be, and it's not jealousy, like, you know, I'm not a football player, but he beat up on my Bills, and I didn't like it, so it is what it is, and he's going to crush it. I want Tesla to go to the upside. There's only 3 minutes for this to happen.
Look at this.
And you can't will it into resistance, but everything's going accepted. NVIDIA just broke 161. We just got to 0.3 on the ES. So we're still breaking out. Meanwhile, there's just sellers in front of 730 on Tesla, and I don't want $6 or $7 on the trade. I want 15.
Oh, man. So we got out of Apple just because, and obviously it was at 142, so we take a nice little 70 cents on that one. But look at what is just ripping right now. AMD, man. Advanced Micro Devices, we're long at 85 into the close. I'm just going to wait to see where this goes. I mean, there's no stopping this name. Look at these longs. Long, long, boom, upside. There's the sorry, that's not the long. That's the short. There it is. There's the cover of the short, and then there's the long. So that's why we have right now 85.01s on here for that trade. So a nice little way to end the day. Up $2 here on AMD, and we still have a piece. So that's a good one with only 2 minutes left. I don't know. Let's just hold this, but whatever.
I just covered because, like, you know 358, when it doesn't go,
same thing, maybe.
A lot of times you see like a bit of a reversal. Like it was at 1.4, the last imbalance, and at 58 you get a bit of a turn. I wish this wick was real on Tesla, but it didn't happen. So tried a couple of scalps. We ended up just getting like $5 each time. I still think it has a chance to go, but only a couple of minutes before we get in. Someone just said talking Nvidia. Yeah, man, it's pretty strong. I mean, I could have gone to this instead of Tesla, and that probably would have been the better play, but it's closing down 3%, but a nice bounce of $6 off the bottom. Like everything I saw got off those lows. UVXY has now taken the low of the day, and it is down 3%. That is a great way to finish. Whether we actually get green in the next 90 seconds or so, the fact that you've seen a turn in volatility and we've gotten off these tops, so gotten off these bottoms, that's a great sign going into the end of this week, which quite frankly, day trading's been giving you opportunities in the day trade, but it has been a pretty garbage week for your long-term portfolio. Hopefully we can at least end it in the right way.
Hey guys, let's check earnings here before we wrap things up. Ms. V's trying to get over to the bell. Here we go. Here's what's coming tonight and tomorrow morning.
Oh, Aurora Cannabis. That's what we missed earlier on.
Is that there?
So like I said, if you have Aurora Cannabis shares, you're better off just smoking the paper it's on right now because you're going to see tomorrow morning a nightmare. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it gets a relief rally.
Where else is it going to go? It's at $2.40.
There's not much else you can do with that one. So I would just say, if you are going to do that, make sure there's not too much ink on that paper or anything. You don't want to do that. We're going to get out right now of that AMD for $2. Pigs get slaughtered. We took some out there, but there it is. Ew, that's hard. We're going to get ready for the Maple Leafs. What's up, Ms. V? She's got the green on, and the market rallied there really nicely into the close. So with only 30 seconds left, less than that now, we're getting ready to close, man. There's the out on AMD. Just going to make sure I don't have any more stop orders, which I did have one out there. Double check all your orders, man. Get them all canceled up. And here we go, guys, with only 10 seconds left, Neil. Hit that, and it's Ms. V on the bell. I should have got Pepperoni Tony here, but there's Ms. V getting ready to rock and roll with only 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There it is. I see you there, Playmaker. And Playmaker,
that was close.
I know hopefully we'll get rid of one Florida team, and then I don't know who the Leafs play again, but if they play the Panthers, my friend, me and you are going to throw down, and we will have a bet on that one. If the Leafs,
I want to see face paint.
Yeah, exactly. One of us will be painting said
Playmaker
face.
will be.
Playmaker will be, but yeah, ding, 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 ding. Thank you. Bears vs. Bulls Media, thank you once again for a great job on the moderation. It's part of our team now. So Bears Bulls Media in the chat, thank you so much. Brendan, I know the NASDAQ almost got there. Give us an update on everything.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It was a lot worse, hey, at the bottom. But yeah, nice bounce, guys. Back towards the close there. 0.15 for the S&P, 0.31 for the NASDAQ. The Dow a little bit worse off, 0.75%. TSX 0.5% to the downside. Everything else, though, not bad. I mean, these two down here were a lot worse when we sat down this morning, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So heading in the right direction.
I think someone fat-fingered it.
Go Brazil, someone just said there in the chat. So
Brazil?
I know, I guess Brazil maybe.
Oh, because the Brazil market
was up.
Yeah, it was. There you go.
Right there. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today, man. Apple was, again, it's a dream boat. Apple, AMC today, Beyond Meat today, Disney, Facebook, Fisker, Rivian at the end there. Microsoft, mistake. That was on me. We could have been infinitely higher if we hit that 252, on that one. But some mistakes made, some great trades made as well today. And what a roller coaster, Neil. Wow.
Yeah, I think somebody actually just fat-fingered a firm. Nothing's actually out yet, but it did just move about a buck or so. But I don't think we actually have anything at 4 o'clock, but we've seen this almost time and time again. Someone makes an early bet, it just tanked, actually $1.25, and now it's right back at the highs. But for a second there, I kind of thought that maybe the earnings had dropped on a firm, but you'd be seeing way more action if they came through. It wouldn't be sitting right at the close price. But there's still going to be a lot of action to see tomorrow. Go Leafs, go. Realistically, I mean, it's going to be pretty exciting. I look forward to when they win, sort of coming in on the train. There'll probably be people, when we're walking to the office, there'll be people that are still celebrating, I think.
Let's just hope they win, man. Like, fingers crossed. We had Montreal 3-1 and we lost.
Dude, when they win.
Tampa Bay.
That's the attitude. That's what I want to hear.
They're monsters, and they've been here before. Let's hope we can get it done. Ms. V, you're going to watch the hockey game tonight?
Yes.
Just say yes. Right. Good answer. I saw Brendan say, just say yes. Yeah, it should be a fun one. Hopefully we're all going to be in good moods tomorrow, despite the market. But for everybody at Trader TV Live, thank you once again for watching. And we're back tomorrow at 8:30. Good luck, and go Leafs, go.